to 6. It's 10 hours of hard-hitting local sports radio every day, right here on the flagship station for Tennessee fans. This is Fan Run Radio, Knoxville.
Are you thinking of buying a home but don't know where to start? Well, call VFL Josh Travis, your local mortgage expert with Foundation Mortgage, based right here in Knoxville. Whether it's your first home or your forever home, he'll keep the process simple every step of the way. To get started, visit mortgagebrokerjosh.com or call 423-312-9777 today. Foundation Mortgage Company, LLC is an equal opportunity housing company. NMLS number 1387311.
What kind of day is it? It's a White Claw day. Grab a pack, grab your friends. Everything else in life can wait. Your friends shouldn't. Let's go. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville. Fan Run Radio. WKGN 1340. Go Balls!
You're tuned in to East Tennessee's premier sports radio call-in show. This is The Drive.
And hello, good afternoon, and welcome to another stellar edition of The Drive here on Fan Run Radio. Russell Smith punching the time clock. It's 3:01 on a Friday. Thank you for being with us. Alongside Bob Baskerville and Walker Smith in the White Claw Hard Seltzer studios of Fan Run Radio. Big show lined up this afternoon. A lot going on. Big news day here in the middle, or not even middle, I guess late June now. We'll call it Volsac Vindication Day. How about that for a podcast title, Bob?
Gotta give a tip of the hat to Volsac, right?
Clearly knows what's going on.
Yes.
He's the first guy to have Andrew Duncan that I saw. Move over, mustard tosser.
Yeah.
See you later, Richard G. West. There's a new go-to source for breaking news in Vol Nation, and his name is Volsac.
Pretty good. Pretty good having, well, we've got a variety of air quotes sources.
Sources, man. You got to have your sources.
Yes.
I like that guy on Facebook who just steals all of the information from VolQuest and then puts it on as his own. And like he's like charging for subscribers. Boomers pay that guy money so that he can just post other people's information on Facebook and claim it as his own.
I've got it on good authority.
Yes. My people are telling me.
Yes. Just like Bear. Well, Bear's got his team that he talks about.
Yeah.
By the way, Bear sends us a text like, we're getting ready to do a show. We got a big show. We got a lot going on.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody's racing to get in because it's apparently Friday and everybody decides to drive at the same time. The traffic is brutal if you're on I-40 heading west. Godspeed there. Bear sends us a text from wherever he's at saying he bumped into Tyjae Spears in the mall.
Well, he's in Nashville. He's in the mid-state.
There you go.
Bumped into Tennessee Titans running back Tyjae Spears, and he says, this guy is massive. And I'm like, I'm a real Titans fan, unlike Bear.
Yes.
So I know Tyjae Spears. I know the draft story. He has no cartilage in his knees, out of Tulane. He's been serviceable. Been good when he's healthy.
Sure.
But he's a scat back. He's like 5'9", 190 pounds. Like, there's no way that dude's 200 pounds.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm sure he's big for a normal. I'm sure he's in immaculate physical condition. A lot of muscle. He's probably looks good in a t-shirt, big broad shoulders, all that stuff. But like compared to football players, he's a little dude.
Here's the question: how's Bear certain it was Tyjae Spears?
That's a good question too. Like I was assuming that he was in a mall somewhere and he was doing like an autograph signing.
Yeah, that could be.
Maybe Tyjae just walks around in his jersey. Maybe he's in full uniform. And
And there's a good chance Bear approached him and said, "You're Spears?"
Oh man, I honestly, we could just do the entire show just cracking on Bear.
I know
for the next 3 hours, and it probably be just as good as whatever we're about to do.
Mm-hmm.
But that's fun. Walker Smith, you doing good over there?
Yeah, I'm doing good. Busy. It's a huge, unexpected,
What's going on,
massive
man? Yeah.
Friday news dump for Vol stuff.
Some
good, some bad. Could be all good depending on how you look at it.
What's bad? What's bad?
Well, just depending on how you feel about the Chaz Coleman thing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I got you. Yeah. It's not good news. Yeah, that's bad news.
Yeah, some people could see it in a good way. Some people could see it in a bad way. It's in the eye of the beholder.
But before we get into that, Bob, I just want to say, for the record, I am playing hurt today.
Okay.
I did that thing that happens to me about once, maybe twice a year. Probably going to happen more often the older I get, where I hurt myself sleeping.
Nice.
I just wake up and I'm hurting. I woke up and I had just like a pulled muscle in my rib, like the bottom of my rib cage and my back. And it wasn't that bad. It was just like, oh man, that kind of sucks. Whatever. Going about my day. And it's just been getting progressively worse to the point like we're around lunchtime today. I started having spasms, which if you ever had back spasms, that's no good. That's pretty excruciating. So at that point, I had to up it from just a couple of leaves to something a little harder, little prescription strength muscle relaxer just to stop the spasms.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm feeling all right. I mean, I'm not as high as Bear at Bonnaroo.
I was going to say,
but
you probably need to in your music and your little.
Walker, if you could find some Pink Floyd.
I was going to say
Beatles.
Some Jefferson Airplane White Rabbit.
Remember what whatever said.
Yes.
Feed your head. So that's good. I mean, usually I just get kind of sleepy. So I got some Red Bull in the refrigerator out here to counteract the effects of the muscle relaxers.
Smart play.
And if that doesn't work, I got some crack rock cocaine out in the car, Walker.
I was banging 7-gram rocks.
You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I'll leave you to that one. I'm feeling pretty good today. I had coffee late today, so I feel great.
Ah, good. All right.
Are you still are you still quitting coffee or are you back on?
No, I never quit coffee.
I thought you said there was a month where you were a while ago maybe that you said you just didn't want to drink it.
Not this guy, man. No.
Coffee machine like myself?
Yeah, well, not a machine. I'll drink a cup or two in the morning just to get it going, get certain things moving, if you know what I'm saying.
Have you seen this pile of crap?
Question for the back spasm, did you go on a walk or a light jog today after you woke up? Because I know you've been walking a lot.
Yeah, I did. Well, I walk just about every day.
Yeah.
And, I went on a walk. No jogging today because of the thing. I'm okay, though, man. I rubbed some dirt on it. I'm a team player. My wife saw me whimpering like a sissy trying to get out of my chair to come over here. She's like, why don't you just do the show from home? And I was like, I can't leave my boys hanging.
Yeah.
Bear's already out. I can't do that to Bob and Walker. I got to be in there. I got to do it. And trust me, I would have liked to stay home. I mean, France and France and Norway are playing right now, Bob.
Yeah.
But I'm here with you.
I appreciate it. Believe me, like I said, being on the road to get here was not exactly a party today. So that would have been nice. Maybe we could have just all done the show remotely. Well, then Walker'd be here solo.
All of us doing
Somebody's
got to
be
is you and Russell, not myself.
I know.
Well, as Walker alluded to, the big news this morning, our long local nightmare has finally come to an end. Chaz Coleman is done. He is no longer on the roster. He is out, signed some sort of medical release, I guess. And that is that. Kind of anticlimactic, I guess, after a month plus of speculation here in East Tennessee. Certainly hope he gets his life together, Bob. I mean, I don't know many young people that I would say it's a good thing to walk away from $2 million.
Yeah.
Which is the number that has been reported associated with him and NIL. But, I mean, certainly hope that he finds what he's looking for and can make use of his God-given talent. In the meantime, for Tennessee, I was thinking about this on the way in. Our rush end situation, which has been, say what you will about Tim Banks' defense the past 5 years. Like, we've always had not just a dude, but multiple dudes at that position, going back to James Pierce, Joshua Josephs, Jordan Ross was a 5-star, Caleb Herring, very highly touted. Now, all of a sudden, we got nothing at that position. We got the kid from Tulane, Jordan Norman, but he's untested, a little bit bigger, probably not the athlete that any of those guys we listed was. How worried are you? How concerned are you about Tennessee getting to the passer this fall?
A little worried. I mean, I think Norman's the only guy with like double-digit games played under his belt right now in that stable of players. So this is where we're going to have to put our faith in Jim Knowles, see what he can cook up in that regard. Because here's the thing. I mean, we keep talking about Chaz Coleman, and now we won't be talking about him for much longer. And I agree with like a lot of people are saying on the live chat. It's just good that we can move on. I agree. Coleman was not a guy. I mean, he obviously had some measurables and performance metrics that showed that he had high upside. That's why Tennessee spent so much money on him. But he hadn't logged that many games and snaps either. So I don't know, man. This is one of those, maybe it's going to be some great story for Jordan Norman to just show out.
But he's certainly got opportunity now.
Yeah, absolutely. And the one thing I would say, Walker said it earlier, some of this news today could be mostly good, could be bad a little bit. And he mentioned Chaz. And while it's unfortunate that we're losing him, I think the other thing, I think it's good. I think it's addition from subtraction, but also the one thing I do hate, and I guess I shouldn't worry about it too much, a lot of media outside of the Knoxville, circle of influence, I guess.
Sure.
They're all kind of like, man, what the hell at Tennessee? They're talking about what we've been talking about for a while, Nico, then Boo, and now this with Chaz, it's like, is there a problem there? And it's like, these are people who, again, they're not close to the program until there's something that blows up, and they would consider this in the silly season kind of a blow up. So that part's unfortunate. I hate that part, but
the one thing that, I've seen consistently written about is that this was not a distraction like Boo Carter was last offseason. This doesn't have much of an impact because the guy just wasn't around, like literally did not show up for workouts, not talking about spring practice, although he pieced out of that as well. But the offseason workouts, he just didn't want to work, didn't want to run and all that stuff. And some people internally feel like he might have been using concussion type stuff as an excuse because he just didn't want to work. Maybe, I don't know. I don't have inside information there. But bottom line, he wasn't around the team. So it's not like, hey, where's that guy, Boo Carter, that played with us last year that we're counting on this season? Why is he missing workouts?
Yeah.
Why is his mom popping off on social media? Like, this guy wasn't on the team last year. Kids didn't know him. He wasn't around for winter workouts, wasn't around for spring practice. So like they don't know. Like they
didn't even get to know him really.
Yeah, the kids on the team are fine, but we were counting on him.
Sure.
Josh Heupel was counting on him. I mean, that's why you paid him the big bucks, the big contract. He was supposed to come in and be an impact player on the defensive front for Tennessee.
And I've seen, because my first reaction earlier today was, man, I wonder if Josh is a little regretful of, man, maybe we should have offered Jordan Ross within reason, whatever he wanted. But
you didn't know at the time that this guy was going to flake out on you.
Well, there's that. And then there's also word from some back channels that maybe Jordan Ross was just interested in a fresh start, period. And it wasn't going to be here. So I don't know.
Maybe, but I got to believe that if they knew, and Caleb Herring as well.
Yeah.
At that position, that if they knew that the Coleman thing wasn't going to work out and they were going to have the need that they had, that they would have gotten with Ross and worked through whatever issues there are. Because it's like, dude, you have a chance to be starting rush edge at Tennessee in the SEC in a contract year. This is his junior season.
Mm-hmm.
You would take that. Look at the success the guys before you have had at that position.
Yeah.
But you might maybe he starts for LSU. I don't know what their depth situation is.
Yeah,
at the rush edge spot.
Now I heard on Tony's show earlier, and somebody mentioned it on the live chat too, that the word on Coleman is he's also got aspirations to be a rap star. Have you heard this?
I have not, but the kid showed up after spring, like he was here a month ago buying a car.
Yeah,
and he hasn't even got the money. So it just seems like a really bizarre situation. Somebody somewhere, whether it's the kid or somebody around him or a multitude of people, have made bad decisions.
Yeah.
Because like it's easy for us to say as grown-ups, but you look back, it's like, man, if I had that skill, if I had that natural ability,
sure,
what I wouldn't give to have had that opportunity and go put the work in. And, not just from a money standpoint and a security, but I mean, who wouldn't want to play a game to make a living, man, living the dream, right? So anyway, that's the bad news. The good news, Tennessee picks up a commitment from a priority secondary target, 4-star safety Marcus Jones, committing publicly to Tennessee today. He also had offers and took visits to Ole Miss, North Carolina, and Michigan. Big-time pickup. And how, you may ask, do we go up to Pennsylvania and get a guy like this? This is one of those things that just makes you feel old, almost like hurting your back while you're asleep at night. This is Mark Jones's nephew. And I know this is before Walker was born, but Bob, you might remember this. Yeah. I mean, this is going back way. He was on the 2002 team. I remember he had a big catch against Georgia. Little guy, but a great, just pure football player. Played two ways, played a little receiver, played a little secondary, was a kick returner. He was on, I think it was the 02 or the 03 team that just really struggled, maybe both. And he was like one of the few productive players on those teams.
No, I remember Mark Jones. I did not know that lineage. Yeah. So that's wild.
Marcus Jones and now Mark Jones.
Yeah.
Or other way around.
Yeah.
So that's a nice pickup. Number 22 safety and number 9 player out of Pennsylvania, according to 24/7. Top 300 player in the country. Just looking at pictures, I mean, this big kid.
It wasn't Poindexter in on this too, they said?
Yeah, Anthony Poindexter, the new safeties coach, his primary recruiter. And this is different under Jim Knowles, right? I mean, it just felt like safety. I don't want to say it was a neglected position under Tim Banks, but we just never got guys at that position. And so, Anthony Poindexter is an elite recruiter by reputation. He was a great safety at Virginia, played in the NFL, and it looks like they're going to be more successful recruiting safeties here under Jim Knowles than they were under Tim Banks.
So there you go.
Good news.
Walker, right there. Turn that frown upside down, right?
I mean, I never said I thought any of this was bad news. I'm
just saying that. I know that. I'm just saying that.
For the people.
Someone that might have a frown, now you can turn it upside down.
Well, if you really want to be happy, wait till we get to the Tennessee baseball portion of the show today.
Just when I thought that they were losing the rope a little, now all of a sudden they can't keep the door closed long enough. People coming in left and right.
A trio of commitments for Josh Elander in the last 24 hours. We will go through those. Ryan Sylvia is going to jump on with us here in just a minute. We've got an extensive Tennessee baseball segment planned with the Cookie Man in hour number 2. Logan Quinton going to stop by, so be sure to stay tuned for that. You're listening to The Drive, Friday afternoon edition of the show. Ryan Sylvia, Rocky Top Insider, coming up next on Fan Run Radio. Stay with us.
The Drive.
105.7 FM, 1340 AM.
Online at fanrunradio.com and streaming on the free Fan Run Radio app.
This is Fan Run Radio, Knoxville.
Is your yard starting to look more wild than welcoming? Yeah, don't let your landscape be that house on the block. At ECR Total Landscapes, we make sure your outdoor space is something you're proud of. From de-weeding flower beds to leaf blowing, trimming, mulching, and more, completely customizable to your property's specific needs. We'll handle it all. Why spend your weekends sweating it out in the yard when you can just sit back and enjoy it? That's the ECR difference. And right now, new customers can get 10% off your first month of our monthly maintenance package when you sign up for a full calendar year. That's right. Consistent, reliable service at a price that makes it easy to get started. No sweat, no hassle, just a better looking lawn week after week. Call ECR Total Landscapes today and mention promo code FANRUN to save 10% on your first month. Call 865-384-2012 or visit us online at ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Barley's has live music on weekends, general team trivia on Wednesday nights at 8 p.m., and now live sports trivia courtesy of the Knoxville Trivia Guys every Thursday night upstairs. The game starts at 7 p.m. and is free to play for everyone, so head on down to the Old City and show off your sports knowledge and win gift cards to Barley's. Use those gift cards to buy some delicious food and drinks, and you can take it all in with their wide selection of TVs and indoor projectors.
Experience the thrill of traveling with C&B's exclusive travel program. Customers age 50 and above with a Plus Perks checking account can participate, ensuring a safe and delightful travel adventure. Take a day trip or an overnight trip. Travel domestic or international. C&B is always on the go.
Citizens National Bank. Banking never felt so good.
Member FDIC.
Hi, this is Dr. Stephen Malone at Knoxville Smiles. Has it been a while since your last dental visit? If so, I'd like to invite you to come see us. At Knoxville Smiles, it's our vision to provide the best dental care in town in a relaxed, friendly environment. So if it's been a while and you've been putting it off, don't wait any longer. Come see us at Knoxville Smiles. You can schedule an appointment online at knoxvillesmiles.com or by phone at 865-539-1776.
And your free Fan Run app. We are streaming on YouTube, the Fan Run Sports channel, to all the folks over there who are already chatting up a storm. Be sure to hit that thumbs up button. Helps us grow the channel and continue to bring you the quality sports radio you have grown accustomed to. Russell Smith, Bob Baskerville, Walker Smith, no relation, Ryan Sylvia, RockyTopInsider.com, our guest this afternoon here on the show. Ryan, good afternoon. How are you, sir?
I'm doing good, guys. I was just beating the rear end of Rick Butler in some pickleball right before we got on, so I'm feeling good.
You guys are dialed in on the pickleball.
We are. It's way too hot for it, so it's a nightmare, but it's fun at the same time.
Russ, the other thing, I heard this at a lunch last week, that Sylvia will not only play pickleball, he will dive for
play to win.
Oh yeah,
I mean, he's a fierce competitor. Clearly,
I lay out for him, and they tell me it's not worth it, but I would rather have a couple scrapes and bruises and win the point than watch the ball fly by and lose.
Oh man, that's the kind of guy you want on your team right there.
Yeah,
real glue guy.
So you won because Shump. If his pickleball game is kind of mirroring his just vibe as a journalist, it's kind of slow and steady.
Shump ain't diving.
Slow and steady wins the race while Sylvia's out there just playing like hair on fire.
Hungry.
Shump's good. You're right. He's not going to lay out for one, but he's mobile. He'll get the lateral movement going. I'll say last summer he had my number, but so far this summer I've had him pretty good.
Nice.
Sylvia, who is the bigger disaster right now? Your Red Sox or my Atlanta Braves?
Man, that's a good question. I mean, I'm biased, but I'm going to go Red Sox. Well, they beat the Yankees last night, so I guess it could be worse. But Red Sox could have a high school team go out, and I feel like they're always going to be at least somewhat competitive with the Yankees. But man, it's not good in Boston. The highlight of the last month in Boston was when the Scots came to town for the World Cup and brought some life into that stadium.
Hey, that was a nice highlight too. But my Braves, after getting swept by the Padres and getting set for a 3-game set with Tony Vitello's San Francisco Giants, are a complete and abject disaster.
Complete disaster.
I guess if you look at preseason expectations, I think the Red Sox had the expectation to at least get back to the playoffs, and obviously they're not going to do that. The Braves have World Series expectations every year now. So I guess if you compare it to expectations, it might be the Braves there.
You do have some, we talked about this last week, Ryan. You guys do have some good young arms. One of them last night, right? Early pitched well.
Yeah, Connolly's great. Peyton Tolley's great. Ranger Suarez has been fantastic. Obviously trying to get VFL Garrett Crochet back in the mix after he was hurt. And then Sonny Gray, I'm a Vandy guy, but he's been really good. And I think he's going to be a nice trade chip at the deadline. So I'm just kind of counting down the days right now until they get to the deadline. They can start flipping some of these older guys like Chapman and Sonny Gray for some prospects. So the future's not dull. You might need to shake up some things in the front office first.
Ryan, a lot of football news popping today here in Knoxville. I've seen you writing extensively about it over at RTI. And let's start with Chaz Coleman. He is out before we even get to see him play for Tennessee.
Yeah.
Just another huge transfer portal bust for the Vols. What does that mean for Jim Knowles' defense next year?
Well, you're going to be really thin at that Leo spot. And obviously that was a big position that pumped out NFL talent in Tim Banks' era of Tennessee's defense. And the expectation with Jim Knowles is you're still going to have difference makers at that spot. Well, the guy who you projected to be the number one difference maker is gone. So that means it's going to be a lot more on Jordan Norman's plate, the Tulane transfer. And I think he's capable of that, but you also can't expect him to go out there and play every snap of the game. So behind him, you're going to need guys like redshirt freshman Christian Gatz, who was hurt a lot of last year and played a little bit, but not much experience. He's going to have to take a step forward, which I think they're confident he can at least be a rotational piece. And then you have that group of freshmen. Kedrick Golston's a name you hear a lot about, of someone that they're going to want to rely on to, as a true freshman, really get in the mix and get some snaps under his belt at that Leo spot. He's put on a lot of weight since he's got to campus. He had a good spring camp. So if everything goes according to plan with him in fall camp and he continues to build on that, I think he's someone else that could be in the fold. And I'm curious, too, what we see from the linebacker group, because it's the deepest position on the roster. You go down the depth chart, you have 3 SEC, all SEC, frankly, caliber players in Arian Carter, Amari Campbell, Edwin Spillman. When you go down the list, Jeremiah Elander, you look at Jaden Perlotti, who was really good last year as a freshman. You bring in 2 really highly recruited guys in PJ White and Braden Rouse. You still have Jordan Burns and Jaden Harmon. I'm curious how much they go to those 3 linebacker looks. We saw 3 linebackers on the field a little bit last year, but that was to replace the nickelback and not a defensive lineman. I'm curious if they start to go to maybe a little bit more of those 3-3 units instead of the 4-2 that we're used to seeing for Tennessee, just to try to cover up some of those edge rushing holes.
So, Ryan, one of the things there's been a lot of chatter about, it's little consolation at the end of the day, but we know that Coleman was getting paid originally somewhere in the $2 million range.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like, per Chris Lowe and others, he walked away with maybe, a tenth of that, right? About $200,000. So the money's not the big deal, but I do think the bigger issue is, and I wanted to kind of take your temperature on it, is, we compile some of the stories that we've endured in the past, 15, 16 months. It started with Nico and then Boo Carter and now Chaz Coleman, all different circumstances, to be sure. But, that's got some people on edge, like, man, what's going on with the program? At the same time, somebody on our live chat said, hey, those are just one-offs compared to, compare it to, I know there's a lot of success at Georgia, but boy, the off-field stuff is just a constant flow. Does this concern you that much? Is it more just, hey, we just got to respond to it?
I'll start on the money side of it. To me, yeah, you touched on it, where it's not like he's getting the full, reported $2 million that it seems like was the initial agreement, and that's probably about a tenth of it. So you're not getting hurt monetarily from that standpoint, but you're getting hurt monetarily from the standpoint of, well, that's over $1.5 million that you expected to spend on this roster that's now being unused.
Yep.
And so that could have went to a big name senior quarterback to set the stage for a quarterback competition next year instead of this year, where you're pitting 2 really young guys against each other. That could have went to a different edge rusher or name the position that you felt like Tennessee should have upgraded even more at, it could have went there instead of now it's just sitting there as essentially, I guess, dead money where Tennessee's not going to have $1.5 million to use on its roster. So you're not hurt monetarily, literally, but you are hurt from your roster construction standpoint. And then as far as the culture around the program, I still think Josh Heupel's built a really strong culture. It's not a good trend to have. Each of them feel unique in their own way, though. So I think you can kind of spin it to being like, okay, that's a one-off here and a one-off there. It's certainly not a good trend to have. You don't want to see that next year. Like if it's 4 years in a row, then maybe you really start to hit the panic button. But I'm not fully there where I'm sounding the alarms yet as far as they're not good at evaluating character or personnel or things like that. I still think overall, top to bottom, you look at what Josh Heupel's built from a culture standpoint, and the positives outweigh the pretty significant trio of negatives so far from the departures that you weren't expecting. But overall, I still think things are in a good spot.
Ryan Sylvia, our guest this afternoon, he's with RockyTopInsider.com, talking a little Tennessee football, and good news for the Vols on the recruiting trail today. They pick up a highly touted safety prospect from Pennsylvania, Marcus Jones. And you young bucks out there don't know nothing about Mark Jones, but Bob and I were just reminiscing, Ryan. His uncle, Mark, was a stone-cold baller here in Big Orange Country in the early part of the 2000s. So a little bit of a legacy prospect here for Tennessee at a position of need.
Yeah, I mean, if they can, the group of defensive legacy prospects in this 27 class, they can tap into him. They can tap into some Kevin Simon and some Robert Peace, maybe even go back a generation, get some Philip Fulmer on the field in there too. That'll certainly work out, but it's a big pickup. It's a position where Tennessee's relied a lot on 3-stars, and some of those 3-stars have panned out to be really good prospects and good players at the college level, but they haven't dominated the recruiting trail as far as safeties. Well, Rivals is a site that's really high on him and thinks that he could be a really, really good college player. So it's a really strong pickup. They continue to add to that secondary. There's still a long way to go in this class. It doesn't seem like it's one that's going to rival last year's where they were towards the top 5 on 247 in the country. That right now they're sitting outside the top 25. So there's a lot of room to go. You've probably got 10, 12, 15 more guys that you can bring into this class in general. So I'm not sure how high they'll be able to climb, but you're starting to lay a foundation. All of a sudden you land Gabriel Georges, if you can pull that off, and maybe some other big name guys, then they'll start to feel a little bit better. And this is a piece that helps kind of lay that foundation, I think.
We just had a listener on the live chat remind me of when we were talking about, well, kind of fiascos of players we've lost. What about Legend Bay, who we didn't quite have, but that's another one. I mean, that was a classic. So Ryan, as far as when we think about this with the football team, et cetera, I mean, one thing we haven't had a chance to talk to you about lately, and I just saw this video that dropped. You might have seen it from Chip Patterson at CBS Sports. He was glazing Faison Brandon today, saying he thinks he's going to be like one of the top quarterbacks in the SEC. So the assumption with him is he's going to be the starter, but I just wanted to see where you netted out at this point on the quarterback situation, because that's obviously been one of the biggest plot lines of the summer so far, and it'll continue to be until camp starts.
Yeah, for sure. I've been going into spring camp when George was kind of the trendy guy. I was the one that thought Faison probably had the advantage just because looking at it from, you're not picking the guy for this year. You're picking the guy for the next 2 to 3 years as well for whoever wins this quarterback battle. So I liked Faison going into it. I was very high on him too in the recruiting phase. Will he be one of the best quarterbacks in the SEC this year? That feels maybe like a little bit of a stretch. I think it's fair to say there's going to be some growing pains if you're a young true freshman at that, not even just a true freshman, but he's on the younger side of that class as well. It feels unreasonable in some ways to say he'll be a breakout star. I think he's a guy that can show a lot of flashes. He's someone that's smart. He's been learning this playbook for a couple of years now, really since he committed. He's starting to digest things. So he's going to be more familiar than I think what you would think of a standard true freshman coming in as a quarterback. But I think somewhere in the range of he's going to help you win some games. He's going to look really good at some points. And then there's probably going to be a couple points. And this is also, of course, assuming he wins the job. There's going to be a couple points where, maybe you're scratching your head a little bit and you see those freshman mistakes happen. So if he does win the job, I think he's going to put together overall a really good year, but one that more so gets you excited for what's to come rather than, man, this team's going to the college football playoffs again or something like that. But it's still an open competition. I don't think we'll really hear anything until probably after that second fall camp scrimmage. I know Heupel really wanted to see how these guys digested what they learned in spring over the summer and how they're going to apply it to the fall. So right now is one of the kind of underrated critical points of this quarterback battle of what are they doing throughout these last couple months to prepare for fall camp to then go win that job. So it's still an open competition. Faison hasn't won it. I still lean, if I had to pick, that Faison will win it, though.
What are you talking about that you're not going to hear anything from Josh Heupel about this until
they could have had this quarterback picked out 5 years ago, and we still wouldn't hear anything until then.
Yes, I know.
When do you think he names a starter, like publicly? We've had this conversation. We go back to the first year, and you got Joe Milton and Hooker, and I believe was Harrison Barnes. Was that not Barnes?
Harrison Bailey.
Bailey was on that team too. And even though everybody knew it was going to be Milton, Heupel waited until the week of the first game to make an announcement. Do you think he draws this out as long as he possibly can?
Maybe, because then you look at last year, he gave us a couple weeks heads up there that it was going to be Joey Aguilar, but that one even felt more so than Joe Milton at the time felt like he was probably going to be the guy. Joey Aguilar really felt like he was going to be the guy last year just because of his experience over Jake Merklinger and George McIntyre. So I think we'll get the heads up. I don't think it'll be one that goes into the season. I think they'll want to name their guy. I'll say probably about 2 weeks out would be my guess. I would be stunned if it was any time before that second fall scrimmage. That feels like the date where it's kind of the pivotal point of you got to make your decision. And you're not going to make one before that for sure. You want to see how they respond to that second scrimmage.
I still think they need to just hire Pruitt to recruit their quarterbacks. Because he's the one who found Hendon Hooker.
Yeah, he did. People forget that. People, Heupel obviously had a big part in Hooker's career, but people forget he was a Pruitt guy, and he stuck through the coaching change.
Hey, Ryan, before we let you out of here, we got to ask you, by the way, I don't know if you've gone back and looked at our YouTube feed, but the highest, most viewed videos are Ryan on here talking about the Lady Vols.
Yeah, that's...
I'm not kidding, man. Thousands of those things go viral. What is the latest from Lady Vol land? I mean, we talk about Rick Barnes remaking a roster. We're covering Josh Elander remaking a roster. She had to completely remake her roster. What are you hearing about the early turns for Kim Caldwell going into year 3?
Yeah, so far so good. And it's a system that you have to really get physically ready. It's like, Josh Heupel's offense when they're really going at tempo too, and you get these transfers that come in, and it's the conditioning right away that they got to get up to speed on. So that's kind of been the theme recently, is getting them in the weight room, getting them conditioned, ready to play that style of basketball. A lot of them are coming off injuries, so getting them recovered and getting the rehab process continued for them now that they're at Tennessee. But just like the men, they're back on campus. They're getting to the swing of things, probably getting some Adidas surprises pretty soon to get that new gear as well. So I'm sure they're excited about that. But yeah, I mean, nothing groundbreaking, right? The roster's set, and they're just kind of all getting familiarized with themselves so far. But everything I've heard seems to be everything's going well so far.
Staying with the Lady Vols, and maybe you have some insight on this, maybe not, but this is about Lady Vols softball. We saw some players, Ella Dodge and a few others, depart the program into the transfer portal. Tennessee has brought one in, I believe, for a prospect or an asset, as it were, from South Carolina. Have you heard any other names or any other activity that may happen in that regard for the softball team and Karen Weekly?
Yeah, they're going to do their due diligence. They're not pressed right now like, man, you've got to fill this hole, because the entire batting order from last year was eligible to return. So they lost Ella Dodge, who started at third base for the NCAA tournament run, but they got Shelton from South Carolina, who's a really proven hitter and a good glove in the infield as well. So you kind of one in, one out at that. Your other two losses were a freshman pitcher who didn't play at all, and then a backup outfielder who had a really good freshman year but didn't factor in too much this past year. So and then with the addition of your freshmen as well, who they're really high on, you're not pressed to go out and add someone immediately. And there's this big hole that you've got to fill. But they're going to do their due diligence. If there's someone they feel like makes sense to bring in, whether that's someone that's younger in a long-term piece or someone that they feel like can help right away, they're going to go after it and see what they can do. But So at the same time, yeah, could I see them adding one or two more pieces? Yes. Could I see this kind of just being what they roll with? Sure. And it was a winning formula last year that got them to be one of the Final Four teams, and they're going to have to take a step offensively, but I think they're excited about the coaching changes they did as well to try to boost that offensive performance.
Bob, has he sold you? You going to re-up those tickets?
Oh, for Lady Vols basketball? Yeah. No, not a chance. Today was you haven't heard this, Sylvia, that
this was the deadline?
Well, the deadline was last Wednesday, the 17th, and they said, well, we'll just let you hang on to your tickets till then. I told you that part, Ryan. Well, they sent me another note on last Friday, saying, okay, one more time. You've got until the 26th to keep your tickets, and then they're going to have to go back. So think it over. It's like, that doesn't sound like
a hard sell on you.
Yeah, it doesn't sound like they're flush with takers on season tickets right now. I'm afraid they got a little work to do.
I think you could circle a couple games if you wanted to, and that's what I told my girlfriend too, because they had season tickets last year. I don't think they're renewing this year either. And I was like, just what I would tell them: pick a couple games, and you can circle those and head to those. And if you fall in love with it again, then get those season tickets next year.
Exactly.
Ryan Sylvia, RockyTopInsider.com. Ryan, always a pleasure. Thanks for hopping on today.
Yeah, thanks for me on, guys. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Ryan.
Ryan Sylvia, one more time on the program this afternoon. And big year for Kim Caldwell.
Definitely.
Feels like the heat is on heading into year 3.
Yes. I got to tell you, I really need to figure out a way to get some video of some of these competitions that Sylvia and Shumpert, they compete against each other in a lot of stuff, whether it's golf, whether it's, pickleball, they might arm wrestle. I don't know, but they're good friends, but they're also like pretty competitive with each other.
Yeah. Okay. I like it.
I just love the concept of seeing Sylvia diving all over the pickleball court.
He's got some scraped up knees and elbows today.
That's a braver man than me, man. I would not.
And hot too today. All right, we got to take a quick time out. You're listening to The Drive. We'll open up the phone lines here. If you want to hop in, go ahead and jump in now. 865-966-3435 is your number. 966-3435. More Fan Run Radio coming up.
The Drive. Streaming worldwide at fanrunradio.com and on the free Fan Run app. This is Big Orange Country's sports talk radio superstation. Fan Run Radio. Knoxville.
What kind of day is it? It's a White Claw day. Grab a pack, grab your friends. Everything else in life can wait. Your friends shouldn't. Let's go. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
Where are the best ribs in the volunteer state? Rickard Ridge. Who has the best barbecue catering packages in East Tennessee? Rickard Ridge. And where's the most beautiful setting to enjoy a meal with family and friends? Rickard Ridge. Rickard Ridge Barbecue. Just a quick ride up I-75, take exit 134, hang a right, and Rickard Ridge is on your left, just inside Cove Lake State Park.
Vol fans, reimagine your home at Broadway Carpets and Flooring for any remodeling or building needs. With a variety of carpets, rugs, hardwood, vinyl, and stone, Broadway has all the flooring and installation options you're looking for, including pet-resistant products like Pet Perfect Carpet from Shaw Floors. Visit their showroom in downtown Knoxville or the location in West Knoxville located on Kingston Pike near Pellissippi Parkway today.
Blackford Veterinary Surgery Referral specializes in surgeries not regularly performed by your pet's general veterinarian. They're currently accepting referrals from vets all across the country. With their newly renovated state-of-the-art surgery center and highly trained staff, clients can rely on professional and thorough care. If your vet says that your pet needs surgery or rehab, ask for a referral to Blackford Vet and let them get your best friend back on its feet. Located conveniently in West Knoxville. For more information, visit blackfordvetsurgery.com.
We really
at one of our favorite places to celebrate 250 years of freedom, the Casual Pint North Shore, having us out July the 3rd, ready to kick off the big 4th weekend. So make plans now to come and enjoy a cold beverage with your friends at the Drive. They got great food selections there as well. The Casual Pint North Shore will be there from 3 to 6 a week from today. 250 years of the United States of America. I guess the only question is, will Bear be man enough to show his face? I hope so.
Yeah, I was going to say, if you're a real devotee of the show, maybe, we might do it.
Can we dress up?
I was going to say, we might do it shirtless since it's going to be like 1,000 degrees next week per the weather forecast.
I don't know if we're going to be on the patio. We'll play it by ear.
Yeah.
To have some fans, beautiful women feeding us grapes.
There's worse lots in life than being at Casual Pint, whether it's indoors or outdoors. I'm already imagining kind of pre-planning what I'll eat there after the show. Always love the food there.
I'm a big, they're breadsticks and beer cheese.
Yeah.
That's where it's at for me.
Yeah. I've talked to the wife about this before. It's like, you need to come check it out. That's she's not been before.
My wife will bring the kid. I mean, it's family friendly. It's one of the things I like. It's not like drunk dudes passed out, and we'll sit there at the kids. They'll get pizza, burgers, stuff like that, and sit there and socialize with friends after the show. So come on out and see us a week from today at the Casual Pint North Shore. By the way, we'll also have Smokies tickets to give away. And I think a lot of people are going to come out and get those because the next week, the Biloxi Shuckers are in town. The week after the 4th. And why is that important, you ask?
I know.
Because we have not one but 2 VFLs on the Biloxi Shuckers. Of course, Blake Burke, who we talked to last year when they came through at Covenant Health Park. And this year, Andrew Fisher is on the team as well. So you come out and get some tickets at the Casual Pint and go see them.
Fish has made the adjustment to professional baseball so far pretty well. Guy's killing the ball.
Yeah, he's doing well. Speaking of baseball, so we'll go through these 3 commitments. And the first one technically is not official. And, part of me, I understand we got to wait so that the kid can have his moment and all that stuff. But everybody is talking about the fact that Chris Ramirez has quite clearly committed to Tennessee and what a great player he is and all this stuff. The top shortstop prospect in the portal this year is Chris Ramirez from, is it Cal Baptist?
Cal Baptist.
That's the same school that Malky kid went to.
They play in the WAC.
Okay. This guy, Chris Ramirez, number 1 shortstop in the portal. He was the WAC player of the year. He was the WAC defensive player of the year. Not the biggest guy in the world. I think he had like 5 or 6 home runs for them. So not a huge power hitter, but great on-base percentage and a really slick glove. And we talked about it yesterday, Bob. You and I were angry about it, but a little bit perplexed about the strategy because if you didn't get Chris Ramirez, Manny Marin is going to – has he matriculated yet? Has he committed? I heard it was Texas and Miami basically for him.
I don't know. Now that you mention that, I don't know if he has committed.
Can you check on that, Walker? Manny Marin's committed yet? You think this is an upgrade over Marin?
Yeah. I think so. I mean,
you never quite know how WAC translates
Correct.
To the SEC.
Correct. But I mean, I think this is a legitimate, like, okay, yeah, show me. Not like you're going in immediately saying, no, man, this is a downgrade. This one I think is this will be worthy of some comparison for sure. So you got presumably then you got the middle of the infield. If it's Ramirez, you got it shored up, right? You got him and you got Wyatt Hanoyan.
I mean, that's a great shortstop, second base, double play combo.
Yep.
I think. The next domino to fall, and this one's official, he's already announced it and everything, is Travis Sanders. And he is a shortstop as well. He was second team All Big 12 at Baylor this past season. But it sounds like a couple of things here, Bob. First of all, maybe you could bump him over to third if, in fact, you get Ramirez.
Mm-hmm.
maybe he could play in the outfield. But most likely, he's a redshirt junior. Most likely he's going to go to the draft because here's the buzzword, leverage. If he plays his senior season, he's not going to have any.
Yeah. So
I would be surprised if Travis Sanders got here. But that's a nice piece to the puzzle.
Yeah, I look at him on baseballreference.com, and they've got him, to your point, listed not only as a shortstop, but as a second baseman and third baseman. So if he gets here, then that just makes me all the happier. But yeah, that could be a tough one to retain.
And then the other guy, and another prospect that commits today that is also on draft watch, Andrew Duncan, center fielder from Wright State. Man, this is one you really want to get to campus because he is draft eligible. Couple of things here. First of all, Wright State, first team All Horizon selection, hit 367, 436 OBP, 577 slugging. So he's well over 1,000 OPS there. He is draft eligible. His fiance, who he's marrying next week, is a UT grad.
Like it.
Huh.
So I don't know. And if you look at it, like he played at Florida State 1 year, and then I think he was at a JUCO for a year, and then he was at Wright State. So he is draft eligible. I don't know. I want this kid, Bob. I feel like, first of all, we need a center fielder. Second of all, he looks like a guy that has bounced around a little bit and could use some tutelage from SEC coaching and all that stuff. 6'1", was a top 100 recruit when he signed with Florida State in 2024, ranked number 77 overall by Perfect Game. Would love to see this guy get here and play next year for the Vols.
And you may have mentioned it and I didn't catch it. Obviously a starter for Wright State. They said he started in center field, actually.
Yeah.
That's great.
Look at me. I can play center field.
That's right.
John Fogerty said that. So a profitable week for Josh Elander in the baseball Vols. You get the two pitchers earlier. We'll talk about all this with Logan Quinton, the Cookie Man, coming up later in hour number 2 of the show. But I think some of the anxiety that maybe Tennessee baseball fans have been feeling at the beginning of the week or late last week is starting to dissipate a little bit.
I was one of them. I've ridden the roller coaster. I felt like we were doing pretty well right out of the NCAA tournament exit. And then last week, I think I was like, what is happening, man? We've got a lot of names coming in, but we're not converting on them. But this has been a very, very productive week for Josh Elander.
Yeah, again, we got to get these guys here. The Sanders thing feels like 50-50 at best. And Grimmer feels like 50-50 at best. So if you don't get any of those guys, you still got a hole at third. And then we'll see what happens in the outfield. But you're starting to piece it together. It's like, okay, Clark/Greenlinger, your catcher/first baseman, Hanoyan at second, Ramirez at short, maybe Grimmer or Sanders at third, maybe Tyler Myatt. One of those guys could figure in left field. Duncan in center if you get him here. Blaine Brown at right field if you get him here.
Kersey,
I'm kind of penciling him in as like a DH/pitcher. Okay. Pretty good lineup on paper.
I like the sound of it.
Pretty good
Sounds
lineup
like
on
a lot
paper.
of guys. And I looked it up. Manny Marin is not committed anywhere.
Okay. Thank you, Walker. Walker was up late with me last night talking about the U.S. men's national team.
Yeah, I was going to say, how was the participation on that? Because that had to be kind of late.
Not much, man. It was late, and I was tired, man. I didn't want to do it, quite frankly. I didn't do a halftime one.
Didn't do a halftime
This after
one.
midnight,
We were like,
yeah.
okay, we'll take care of this. We thought it was going to be, it's about to be a draw. We'll go in, break it down, not bad. And then we give up the late goal with the last kick of the game. And
Did
now
you stay up for it?
Mm-mm.
Oh, Bob.
I just couldn't.
Oh,
It was a great game.
It really was a good game. Sebastian Berhalter, he impressed me a little bit.
Turkey A came to play.
It wasn't Turkey B. It was Turkey A.
It was Turkey
Well,
A.
they came to play. They're playing for pride, and that was our B team.
Mhm.
That was just not. And still, I mean, you can make the argument that they were lucky to get out of there with a win. We saw Pulisic play for about 30 minutes. He looked fine.
Weston McKennie played almost the whole game.
My takeaway, and then based on what I read this morning, but my takeaway from watching it again as a casual, it just felt like Pochettino, he definitely it was going to be his game plan, and that's that.
Well, we switched up formationally. We went with 4 at the back instead of 3, which is a big change, which I'm fine with, man. It shows flexibility, and if you listen to Poch after the game, he was very much hey, listen, we played our backups. We won the group. Like, what do you want? We're on to Bosnia and Herzegovina. We got to beat them both, Bob. Can't just beat Bosnia without Herzegovina.
Got to beat them.
That's
both.
like
got to
one
beat
of
two
those,
countries, man. It's like Trinidad and
You
Tobago.
gotta beat them
All I
both.
keep thinking about is the basketball player Chris Douglas Roberts. Remember him from Memphis?
Oh yeah.
I hate those like hyphenated names. Auburn had Sebastian Williams Adams this year. It's like that's what that feels like with Bosnia.
Where we had Adam
Herzegovina.
Myers White. Yeah, back in the day. If that name rings a bell, and if it does, you need help. Surely we've had another one since then. Hyphenated names for the Vols. We're about to get a flood.
Reeves Maven.
Oh yeah,
Reeves Maven.
There you go.
Good one.
Nice one.
Stay tuned. Hour number 2 of The Drive. Coming up, it's Fan Run Radio.
The Drive.
Fan Run Radio, the flagship station for Tennessee fans.
This ain't no wishy-washy, limp-wristed, kale-eating, half-ass sports radio station.
We're your in-your-face, truth-telling, say it loud, flag-waving, face-painting, hardcore, bring the noise, causing a ruckus, don't give a damn sports station.
Sports talk that doesn't just hang up and listen.
For the fans. This is Fan Run Radio.
Get some.
It's official. It's summer. And how does East Tennessee do summer? With your Knoxville Smokies, of course. Only 5 homestands remaining. So if you haven't been to a game yet, what are you waiting for? Next week is a huge week with All You Can Eat Wednesday, Knox Vegas Thirsty Thursday, Friday fireworks, and then Saturday, we're celebrating our country's 250th birthday. America's favorite pastime and fireworks. Is there a better way to celebrate? And come meet Bluey on Sunday. Don't miss the fun. Get your tickets now at smokiesbaseball.com.
In a world filled with deadlines and screens, sometimes we forget the simple joys of life, days filled with special moments. At Inward Half, we understand the essence of these moments. Feel the difference between our breathable fabrics and flexible apparel as you disconnect from the hustle and bustle and reconnect with what truly matters. Inward Half. Simple luxury for on and off the course.
Hey, Vols fans, Cody Brown here. I grew up right here in Tennessee and know what it means when someone says, I've got your back. That's why you can trust Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee. Whether it's your home, your vehicle, your family's future, or the business you built from the ground up, we will show up for all of your insurance needs. We are Tennesseans who understand what matters, which is doing right by you. Insurance is not all about just paperwork and policies, but it's about the people we insure every day. So if you want insurance that hits home, give me a call at 865-992-3871. Go Vols.
Are you thinking of buying a home but don't know where to start? Well, call VFL Josh Travis, your local mortgage expert with Foundation Mortgage, based right here in Knoxville. Whether it's your first home or your forever home, he'll keep the process simple every step of the way. To get started, visit mortgagebrokerjosh.com or call 423-312-9777 today. Foundation Mortgage Company, LLC is an equal opportunity housing company. NMLS number 1387311.
What is dedication? The thing that drives me every day as a dad is Dariana. We call him Day for short. Every day he's hungry for something, whether it's attention, affection, knowledge. And there's this huge responsibility in making sure that when he's no longer under my wing, that he's a good person. I want him to be able to sit back one day and go, we worked together, we did a good job.
That's dedication. Find out more at fatherhood.gov. Brought to you by the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services and the Ad Council.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340. WKGN Knoxville and W289CU Knoxville. Fan Run Radio.
Are you ready for the start of a new season? Maybe looking for your team to go on a tournament run? Get game day ready with Crumble. Head on over to your nearest location and pick up 12 pre-selected cookies plus exclusive toppers. When you're looking for dessert options, there's no question about who you should call on. Our listeners already know. Last year, the Dubai chocolate was a home run, along with the brownie batter. Oreo crumb was another crowd favorite. What new flavor will set the standard this season? If you're in the Knoxville area, there are 3 locations ready to serve you: Clinton Highway, Parkside Drive, and Maryville. Download the Crumble app to build your best lineup and vote on the best combos. You can even put your bid in to request a new flavor. Order in the app and slide on over to your nearest location. Tell them Fan Run sent you, and as always, it's for the fans, by the fans. Don't miss the cookies.
It's time for the Drive's Top 4 at 4.
Hour number 2 of the Drive underway here on Fan Run Radio on the Top 4 at 4. Brought to you this afternoon by ECR Total Landscapes. Walker Smith, what you got?
Thank you. At number 1, Chaz Coleman, star of Tennessee football's transfer portal class, has been medically disqualified and is no longer a part of Josh Heupel's program. Coleman was 4 days late in returning to Knoxville with the rest of his teammates to begin summer workouts. When he returned to town on May 29th, he met with some of the football program and did not rejoin Derek Owings' off-season program.
Get a load of this, though.
Yes.
This is from Chris Hummer, 247 Sports and CBS Sports. He wrote just a few minutes ago, a bit of an update to the Chaz Coleman story. Tennessee is keeping Coleman on scholarship as part of the medical dismissal per a program source. This makes his immediate 2026 football future a bit murky.
So he's not even going to play?
Yeah, but what I don't understand is, like, what's that mean? If they're honoring his scholarship, do we really think this kid's going to stay here and go to school here? Or?
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, maybe this is just, again, the mental health angle.
Yeah.
Hey, we did all we could for him, kept him on. It's not even about football. We still want to help him work through his issues. Maybe it's a thing where it's like, hey, maybe he just needs a year off. Maybe he really does have post-concussion type symptoms. Maybe we're waiting on him to grow up. Maybe we think once he sees football season happening and he's not a part of it,
yeah,
he'll want to be a part of it. Maybe he can play in 2027. I don't know, a lot of maybes.
Here's what's interesting, by the way. In some of the comments, somebody from Ohio State says he won't be in Knoxville in the fall, which was what I was just saying, but Tennessee does not want him at another school.
I get that too. I mean, like, it would suck if he just went to Ohio State and all of a sudden he's working out and he's playing and everything. That would suck for Tennessee. I mean, we made an investment here, you know? That's why the NFL has rules and rights to a player. You don't want to play for the Tennessee Titans. You can't just quit and go sign with the Jets or whoever you want to play for.
Right.
I know. Why would you want to play for the Jets?
But
theoretically, just another something that eventually they're going to have to address. There's some sort of, if not a full-on collective bargaining agreement, some sort of contract.
Yes,
that you're signing.
100%. At number 2, Josh Elander has landed 3 huge names in the transfer portal in the last 24 hours, getting commitments from Baylor shortstop Travis Sanders, Wright State outfielder Andrew Duncan, and Cal Baptist shortstop Chris Ramirez.
Profitable week for Josh Elander and the baseballs. The picture is starting to come into focus a little bit. Logan Quinton is our Tennessee baseball guru. He's going to join here in just a few minutes. We'll get his thoughts on some of these guys and what's needed at this point. Again, the guys that we're picking up today, Sanders, Ramirez, even the outfielder, Duncan, not power guys, Bob.
No.
Does that bother you? Are you worried that we're losing a little bit of our identity? Or
no. I talked about this briefly yesterday. Maybe a little bit more of a diversified approach on offense. We just saw it. The new College World Series champion kind of played that type of ball. Get people on base, man. Particularly, you look at the makeup of some of these guys coming in, it feels like there is a bit of a shift underway. We've got big bats, though. Those are the guys we retained.
I like big bats, and I cannot lie.
Yeah. So I'm kind of okay with it. I'm like, let's give it a run. See what happens.
I love it. At number 3, the New York Mets fired manager Carlos Mendoza today, with the club toiling through a 6-game losing streak in a disastrous 2026 season. Andon Green has been named interim manager for the remainder of the season. Mendoza was in his 3rd season as manager with the club, with a club option for 2027 that was not exercised.
Mets are up.
Dumpster fire.
Yeah,
how can you be that bad when you have that much payroll?
I don't know. And I mean, I don't see them, for some reason, I don't see them like turning things around like the Phillies did after they fired their manager.
I mean, that's a top 5 payroll in baseball, right? I know they've had a couple of injuries. Is there anybody like Lindor
hasn't played all year pretty much.
Okay.
Their pitching has just been kind of bad outside Nolan McClain, who's going to be the rookie of the year in the NL. It's just all bad. They should have just paid Pete Alonso. They kept him there, and I think it just doesn't work. Hasn't worked.
I hate it for him.
I'm sure you're real torn up about the Mets.
Can't you tell?
Real torn up about it. And at number 4, we got 6 more World Cup games today following last night's disappointing result between the USA and Turkey. Right now, Senegal is leading Iraq 1-0, and France is beating Norway 3-1 at halftime. Later tonight, Cape Verde plays Saudi Arabia, Spain plays Uruguay, Egypt plays Iran, and New Zealand takes on Belgium.
You gonna stay up for New Zealand, Belgium tonight, Bob?
That Egypt-Iran one's got my attention.
What's going on right now?
Oh, well, maybe not then.
Is that the Pride game in Seattle?
No, that's the wrong one. Yeah, that is. No, Egypt-Iran is later tonight. Sorry, Bob. Yeah, I think that is the one that everyone was looking at, the Pride game.
Have you heard of this, Bob?
No.
They designated, it's Pride Month.
Yes, I know that.
They designated the game in Seattle the Pride game. The Iranian Football Federation has asked FIFA to ban any sort of on-field ceremony, pride flags, anything like that at the stadium today.
It's a bold play.
Wow. Okay.
What do you think they should do?
That's a tough one. I mean,
who do you want to piss off? Iran or the who do you want to piss off? The religious fanatics or the cultural fanatics?
I was going to say, what if FIFA says no? Does Iran boycott the game, or I don't know?
It is funny that it's 2 religious theocracies basically that are playing in the quote-unquote Pride game.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Is that it?
That is it.
Walker. All right, good, man. Thank you. That is the top 4 at 4, brought to you by ECR Total Landscapes. Check them out online, ecrtotallandscapes.com. 10% off your first month of the monthly maintenance package. Tell them Fan Run Radio sent you. So we're getting more and more hyphenated names.
Yes.
Vols flowing in, Bob. Shout out to Kid Huddy for dropping Carlin Feels of Me. You remember Carlin Feels of Me?
I do. Running back.
Yep. From South Florida, as I recall. Vol Scoops reminds us of Justin Williams-Thomas. Now, you did not remember this one.
Did not.
He was a running back that we signed a couple of years ago, never really played much. I don't know what became of him. But isn't it funny, though? Like, anytime you sign a player, like on signing day, I remember at one time, and I think he was just Justin Thomas, and then he added a name, which is what the kid at Alabama, Ryan Williams. Remember Ryan Williams going off against who was it that he caught those long, crazy touchdowns?
Georgia.
As a true freshman, how good he was. And then he wasn't very good last year. Well, he's adding a name. I don't even know. It's like Ryan Tyler Williams or something.
Interesting.
All I remember was in that Georgia game was how Chris Fowler could not emphasize enough that he's only 17.
He's only
him
17.
And the rest of sports media.
Like, okay, we get it,
he's
man.
17 years old.
That was one of the great moves I've ever seen. You remember the spin move he made?
Oh, God.
In the open
it's
field?
One of the great games.
Yeah.
Yeah. He was fantastic.
Yeah, because Georgia ended up
coming back.
They did.
Like, I think Alabama was up like 28-0 in first quarter, early second, And then Georgia ends up coming back, and then they finally tie it and take the lead, and then Ryan Williams does that. Just 17 years old, Bob.
Yeah. Big Dog in West Tennessee says Ontario Smith, which kind of is not part of that.
It's just a name.
It's a good name.
Scottish Inn's room service, Omar Norman Lott.
Arizona State legend, Omar Norman Lott.
Yeah, that's a good one. And we mentioned Adam Myers-White. How about this one from a more recent vintage? Do you remember Gabe Judy Lally?
Yes.
I do not remember this.
You don't remember Gabe Judy Lally? That was like 2 years ago.
I was going to say, it wasn't long ago. Didn't he have
played for the Titans? Yeah.
I was going to say he had a cup of coffee with the Titans.
I think he's still with them.
This guy is not in my memory.
Gabe Judy Lollipop.
Nope. God, this guy is not in the memory banks.
Oh, he was out there. He was out there.
What position did he play?
He was a corner.
Oh. Man, like I said, it's not in the memory.
Send us in your favorite hyphenated name, Vols, 865-966-3435. Your number. Phil is melting down in the chat. I guess he's taking that post over from Joshy Boy today. Phil says, Heupel football makes a person pass out, will never win SEC, soft discipline.
Okay. He also asked if Bear has gotten involved in the LA mayoral race.
He couldn't do a worse job than any of the clowns they've had in that post the past couple of years.
Yeah.
Bitter Klinger 8964 says Chaz had PTHD, post-traumatic homesickness disorder. See, if he had homesickness, why did he come down here and buy a car? Like if you're going to quit, just quit. If I'm homesick, and where's he from? Columbus, Ohio, something like that?
He's from somewhere in Ohio.
I would just go home. Just say, okay, I cannot live outside of my hometown. I'm going to go home and take all my classes online. But he was back. He came back and bought a car like that. It's just bizarre. Remember that picture of him with his pants all hanging down?
Yeah. Yeah. I've heard all sorts of stuff that, again, you listen to Tony's show, you'll get usually an infusion of interesting information that, like we said, Chaz wants to be a rapper. I think one of the callers that lives up, Mark in Columba was calling in, and he said that it was his understanding that Chaz Coleman really had designs on wanting to be a basketball player, not so much a football player. That would explain the build a little bit.
Hey, man, I hope it works out for him.
Not our problem now.
No.
And I mean, I wish him the best. If he's, there's a lot of stuff we don't want to make light of there potentially, but at the same time, got to move on, man.
Yes, got to move on. Tennessee parting ways officially with Chaz Coleman earlier today. Apparently, he's going to stay in school. The Vols getting a football commitment from Marcus Jones. Mark Jones, his nephew, for those of you who remember that one. Steve-O in the text box says, is Bear rooting for Bosnia or Herzegovina next week?
That's a good one for him. We should ask him next week, kind of put him on the spot and make,
I don't want to speak for Bear. I will let him tell who he's, and that game is Wednesday night, Walker?
Yes.
At 8?
8, I believe. Yes.
What do you think the ratings for that one are going to be, Bob?
I don't know, but the ratings have you seen what the ratings have been in total for the World Cup games? Like I think they said 24 of the top 25 highest rated shows in sports television last weekend were World Cup. I mean, it's obliterating everything else sports wise.
Yeah.
So it'll pull a number for sure. That's what threw me last night. I thought the game was 9:00 last night.
I don't know why. Well, the first one was 9 against Paraguay. Last night was 10.
Yeah.
And then next week is going to be 8. I don't know why they keep moving.
Because I tuned in at 9, and that's what I'm saying. I just got tired, man. Once they didn't start it till 10.
Is the whole deal where they tell you coverage starts at 9, which includes the pregame. So they're like, tune in, the coverage starts at 9. We'll do a pregame for an hour, then the game starts at 10. Yeah, it was a weird kick time. But I mean, with all the reason that they have to play all the group stage games or final group games at the same time, it just throws off the schedule to figure out a way to fit 6 games into a day.
Yeah.
Let's get a call from Phil. Good afternoon, Phil. You're on the drive, Fan Run Radio.
Dave.
Hey, Philly.
How you, Bob, and how you doing today?
Doing well, thank you.
I was complimenting your show yesterday. There's a lot of good information.
Oh, so did you get to hear Polinsky's segment, Phil?
Oh yeah, I like hearing him.
Yeah,
he's a smooth talker.
Yeah, and he's opened up over time with us. You know, I mean, you don't get quite. He's got a little coach speak, but not a whole lot.
Was he the lead recruiter for the kid from Alabama, the post player?
Good question. I don't know. I always thought Gainey was the
guy. I think he was. I'm not going to swear to it.
Who's the kid from Dwayne Brown?
Dwayne Brown.
Yeah.
Well, they know all these guys. That was an interesting part of it, too, when he was talking about the program at Hoover. Yeah. Was it like 5 a.m. practices?
Yeah.
That takes some dedication right there. 7 a.m. sounded early to me, quite frankly.
So Barnes is going to go out and get another player. That's what it sounds like, don't it?
Yeah, and it sounds, based on what we heard yesterday, it's not a shocker. We all see it. It sounds like if they're adding somebody, it's going to be a big.
Well, that makes sense, don't it?
It sure does.
Is the stuff from the kid from Michigan, is there any kernel of truth there? Or is that just like us wishing?
You talking about Tiam?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's just wish list stuff. I don't, who knows?
Pie in the sky.
Yeah, he might be interested, but I mean, my point yesterday was that should be the target if we're looking at a Michigan player.
Do you think that there's somebody they've seen on the circuit that's going to reclassify and come in early? You think that's a possibility?
It's a good question. I mean, that's a possibility. I mean, remember how they discovered Zakai, right? I mean, he wasn't even really on the radar for most schools. Maybe it's one of those types that they've seen, like you said, on the circuit, or maybe there's some international connection because Polinsky's got he's got a wide network in that space too.
Well, they got Comwall real late one year, didn't they?
Yeah, I think so.
And NCAA is getting a lot of European players now.
Old Will Wade, that's about all he's getting.
Well, Stephen Pearl's got 2 or 3 lined up coming in.
Yeah.
Even Kentucky's got one, or 2 of them coming in.
Well, Phil, us West High Rebels are known for our distinct international feel. We like to spread the globe, trying to look for talent.
Yeah, that's right. Hey,
well,
Phil, real quick. You happy? You and Hutch happy to see BJ getting a shot with the Kings?
Yeah, I am. He probably went to a good place where he probably might gets a chance to get a little playing time. I mean that. I heard your guest on yesterday talking about that franchise. He'd be a fan favorite guy out there now on that team.
Yeah.
Can we get them connect too?
No kidding.
BJ and Dalton play together.
Well, Cameron Carter's going to take Connect's place, and what's going to happen?
Yep. He's just getting further buried, right? Because they re-signed Austin Reeves and Cam Carr, and they got Luke Kennard. I mean, yeah, Connect's got to get out of there, man.
Well, see, the Knicks, if you win a championship, there's not much left to get. I mean, they got some European player. I've never heard of him.
Yeah.
Well, what's wrong with the Braves? Is the season over now?
It's over, Phil. Stick a fork in them. They are done.
Yes.
Well done. It's stupid. We suck. It's all over. Time to get ready for football.
Well, I wish y'all felt about it with some of these other sports you talk about. Sure.
Walker, isn't it just fascinating how Russell's tune has changed in like 1 week's time?
Baseball's dumb, man.
Baseball is the night is long and full of terrors in the baseball season, and we both were riding high early in the season, and the Reds are now under 500, and the Braves are tumbling.
It's football time, man. We got what?
Yeah. 71 days.
7 weeks till
Who's
kickoff.
counting?
I mean, we got to get ready, Bob. Fool around with this Major League Baseball stuff.
Yeah, when you got a team who's probably going to be playing in the postseason, you stick around with them. That's what I look at it.
Yeah,
My team will not be. So
how many nights a week are you up late watching Dodger Vision?
I've got MLBTV.com so I can watch any Dodger game.
It's true.
Because they black out all those Braves games, which is maddening.
Oh, well, that's
They're doing you a favor right now. Trust me.
Yeah.
Quick timeout. When we continue, the Cookie Man, Logan Quinton, joins us right here on Fan Run Radio. Stay tuned.
The Drive.
The flagship station for Tennessee fans. This is Fan Run Radio.
White Claw is taking hard seltzer to new heights with White Claw Surge. At 8% alcohol, White Claw Surge is a stronger wave of refreshment that doesn't compromise on taste. Available in 4 bold waves of flavor like ripe blackberry, citrusy blood orange, zesty natural lime, and tart cranberry. Check out your favorite retailer in-store and online for the White Claw Surge Variety 12-pack and 16-ounce single-serve cans. White Claw Surge. Please drink responsibly.
In a world filled with deadlines and screens, sometimes we forget the simple joys of life, days filled with special moments. At Inward Half, we understand the essence of these moments. Feel the difference between our breathable fabrics and flexible apparel as you disconnect from the hustle and bustle and reconnect with what truly matters. Inward Half, simple luxury for on and off the course.
Are you ready for the start of a new season? Maybe looking for your team to go on a tournament run? Get game day ready with Crumble. Head on over to your nearest location and pick up 12 pre-selected cookies plus exclusive toppers. When you're looking for dessert options, there's no question about who you should call on. Our listeners already know. Last year, the Dubai chocolate was a home run, along with the brownie batter. Oreo crumb was another crowd favorite. What new flavor will set the standard this season? If you're in the Knoxville area, there are 3 locations ready to serve you: Clinton Highway, Parkside Drive, and Maryville. Download the Crumble app to build your best lineup and vote on the best combos. You can even put your bid in to request a new flavor. Order in the app and slide on over to your nearest location. Tell them Fan Run sent you, and as always, it's for the fans, by the fans. Don't miss the cookies.
Fall fans, reimagine your home at Broadway Carpets and Flooring for any remodeling or building needs. With a variety of carpets, rugs, hardwood, vinyl, and stone, Broadway has all the flooring and installation options you're looking for, including pet-resistant products like Pet Perfect Carpet from Shaw Floors. Visit their showroom in downtown Knoxville or the location in West Knoxville located on Kingston Pike near Pellissippi Parkway today.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life.
Bob and Walker, and pleased to be joined by our old pal, the Cookie Man, Logan Quinton, joining us on the phone line. Good afternoon, LQ. How are you, sir?
Good afternoon, fellas. Just trying to catch a fun Friday. Been listening to you guys doing some stuff around the house, and when I hop off, got some more things to get accomplished before tonight's game, the Braves and Giants. I'm going to be watching that with some friends and family. So we'll see if we can kind of turn the tail of the tape against Tony Vitello. If he had to play the Atlanta Braves, 162 games this season, I think that San Fran press wouldn't be on him quite so much.
Oh, Logan. We got to get you an entertainment upgrade, man. You cannot. We got to get you into the World Cup. Can we send him some sort of a primer package, Walker? You sit around on a Friday night, beautiful day like this, and watching the lousy Braves. That'll make your eyes bleed.
That's miserable.
Hey, we'll turn it around, Russ. It's coming. We've got the trade deadline coming up. Unlike previous years, the Braves all of a sudden have some prospect capital. Right. And they've had some interesting prospects develop, like Juan Gil and Eric Hartman, the number one pick they had in last year's draft, Tate Southacene. They changed course with that. Instead of going pitching, they go up the middle demon. He's already in high A, and I expect him to do well. So you've got some capital to work with and fill in those holes. Going to get some guys back. I feel good about this second half coming up.
Oh, man, you are more optimistic than me.
Hey,
for sure.
Logan, before we get into any of the other baseball, I was just talking to Russ before the break. What happened to just believing in your team, man? You hit some choppy waters, and all of a sudden you're out.
Choppy waters.
Yeah.
Choppy what? The tank has been drained, man. We're beached. The ship is on sand right now. We're marooned. It's hopeless.
It's not how winners talk.
I mean, we've lost 4 in a row. No, we're not. They are a bunch of losers right now. The Atlanta Braves are, and I don't make any bones about it. Suckers and losers. Thank you, Logan. Let's move on to happier topics, please, like the Tennessee Baseball Volunteers. I love portal season, man. Basketball, baseball, when your team is committed, when they've got a good plan and they go out and execute it, and you watch the pieces come together, 3 commitments the last 24 hours, 2 pitchers earlier in the week. Where do we start? Which of these commits are you most excited about, Logan?
Of the most recent, I think Chris Ramirez, and you guys touched on it. There's some question marks here, but we began the morning because like you said, the stuff falling in the past 24 hours, it's been kind of crazy because this has been kind of a slow paced news drop as far as transfer portal commits. But Ramirez is enough to get excited about. All these guys are that we've heard of since last night into the morning. There's still a couple of question marks on making some guys official, but you got 7 right now that you've locked in the portal, potentially for another couple. The Sanders kid from Baylor, it's probably the most likely out of the position player group that's the highest draft risk. It's a great insurance policy to have, but I heard you guys kind of dicing it up about what the lineup may potentially look like in terms of the fielding. I'm not penciling in Sanders, but like I said, great insurance policy to have. Chris Ramirez, I love the tandem to potentially have Ramirez and Hanoyan up the middle. I mentioned to you guys a couple of weeks back when we got the news about Manny Marin. That's where my mind was going, because at that point we didn't have Hanoyan locked up yet. And I'm like, man, you have to shore up that middle infield. I think with Marin, I'll hold my position in thinking that I think that's draft leverage play right there. And you guys were kind of wondering about what that commitment process may be like, what it looks like for Manny Marin. Here's an example. Like when you measure up Chris Ramirez and Manny Marin, I'm totally on the train of thought. Chris Ramirez may be a better option if you were to start the season tomorrow, because college baseball is about winning the day and the next day, stacking wins together, winning the weekend. And Manny Marin is currently a better prospect than Chris Ramirez. But, I mentioned player development with the Braves. Like, Manny was a big-time prospect. He was there with Jay Abernathy and Toss Southacene, who went with the Cubs. They're in the same bucket and around the 4th round or so, that kind of range in the 24 draft. He's going to be – I still think Manny Marin's a phenomenal prospect. But Chris Ramirez, you mentioned the on-base percentage. I think, what they're doing with some of these guys in terms of the hitters, adding a little bit more speed element, adding some on-base, acumen, I think that's going to serve them well. I think Josh Elander has taken a patient approach. That's what I suspected coming in when we did our post-mortem segment weeks ago. And it looks like it's coming to fruition. It's a lot different than this point last year. I feel like this point last year when we were doing the segment, we were trying to figure out how all these prospects and potential signees from the draft, like how they would work and the numbers would work in a limited roster size. This time it feels like it's a little more conservative and they're able to pick their guys in the portal.
Logan, I was looking at Baseball America put out, this was about a week ago. Okay, so I'll preface it by saying that their list of the top 10 uncommitted transfers. The top 3 on that list are now in the fold with us. Jake McCoy, Chris Ramirez, and Ricky Ojeda. By the way, number 4 was Sawyer Solitaria, so we were in on him as well. But let me pivot back to Jake McCoy, because we've talked about this week that, this guy was out injured. At the same time, he's also one that we've kind of read between the lines that maybe there's a little concern that he could end up going in the Major League Baseball draft. I mean, where do you net out on this? I'm of the mind that the guy, one way or another, there's going to be some level of risk of him making it to Knoxville, whether it's through the MLB draft or he makes it to Knoxville, and what's his level of recovery from Tommy John. What are your thoughts on Jake McCoy?
It's phenomenal stuff. He has impressed scouts and evaluators going back a couple of seasons. When it comes to him and Ojeda, and I'll bring in Detmers too, because there's draft risk with all those guys. I think McCoy has the most draft risk. It's 2+ pitches, really plus pitches with the fastball and the sweeper. The control is the issue. He was, in terms of the pitch data, he put out some phenomenal stuff in terms of shape with both those plus pitches. But the question marks are on the control and the injury. And there's some reliever risk too. So that the latter things I just mentioned kind of helps Tennessee's case. It's just a matter of an organization circling McCoy. It would be an organization that leans on what we call model picks, right? That really lean into the data and see, hey, 2+ pitches. We love the shape and the movement. Like we're going to be willing to roll the dice on some injury and some small sample size. Now with Ojeda, there's similar builds, slightly different profiles. Ojeda is also lefty, but it's mostly fastball. He's got a split changeup. He is just heavily relying on the fastball. He throws it like 70% of the time, I think. Command's the issue with him, but there's also reliever risk with Ojeda. I think Ojeda's more likely to land in Knoxville if I had to guess. And then with Detmers, he's on the right side, but he's got that frame that the other two don't, right? But he also has a tremendously small sample size. He's got the cachet with the baseball lineage in his family, brother Reed, and I think his father also played. So it's an interesting bucket with these transfer portal pitchers, but I think McCoy is like the biggest draft risk. And I could see a scenario where on day one of the draft that he's selected towards the end.
So from a risk reward perspective, you support, because it feels like when I hear you talk through that, and that's what we've been discussing too, feels like there's a fair amount of risk that, all these guys have great stuff, but I guess the reward is worth it if we could get at least 2 of the 3 to campus.
Yes, Bob, exactly. You hit the nail on the head. I feel reasonably confident that you could get 2 of these 3 guys. Get a third, that's a bonus. But now you're, like we mentioned with the hitter group, couple of draft risks, right? So I mentioned the numbers. Like last year, it was like, how is all this going to work? How are we going to fit, all these names down to 34? Now today, after a few more possibilities and potential landing spots here in Knoxville, you're inching closer to that 34 number, right? Like I think the Vols signed 14 preps out of this last cycle after the draft was complete. So going off of that, it feels like you're getting closer to 20 with these potentials in here. And then if you land the same number of preps you did last year after the draft, you're right on the nose. But I don't think they're done because there are those question marks and those draft risk, and you have to have some sort of insurance policy there. So, but I definitely think they've done a great job. It's ironic that, so many of these guys have that injury history and things like that. But I have no doubt that if a couple of these guys land, that working with Austin Knight, I think that's going to be a fresh start for them. And I think they can do well and have a bounce back type of performance and career with Tennessee if they choose to go that route.
Logan Quinton, the Cookie Man, hanging out with us. His appearance is always brought to you by Crumble Cookies. Logan, you mentioned that high school recruiting class, and guys, again, it's the same thing. You're playing with the draft there, and I know you cover that extensively. Who are some of the guys that you think could actually make it to campus out of that class and have an impact?
So once you kind of get whatever draft board you're looking at, I've actually been working on one in the past couple of days because I've got to do some mock drafts. That's what I'm excited about these next couple of weeks. I'm done punching the time clock over at 21:36 for the summer. I had to do some extra stuff there at the beginning of the summer, but now these next couple of weeks dedicated to doing those mock drafts, and the starting point is building some of the background stuff with the draft boards and everything. I know Dan Zielinski already has one put out, his first mock draft at baseballprospectjournal.com. So go check that out. Jared Grenlinger, he's got mock number 11 to the Nationals, which I think makes a lot of sense. But in terms of what I'm looking at here, I've got a top 150 board pulled up that we're bouncing off of. Gary Morse, I'll start with Gary Morse. It's 6'8", 210 pounds from the right side. He was former teammate of Wyatt Hanoyan. I think I mentioned this on the podcast, the last one we did with Tyler Jennings from Just Baseball. I gave him the position of, hey, Gary Morse versus Caden McCarthy. Is there a chance you get one of these? We mentioned trying to get 2 out of 3 from those college transfer portal pitchers. Can we kind of roll the dice with Morse or McCarthy and see if we land on something? And I think it's more likely Morse in that scenario. It's just there's a lot more refinement needs to happen. I think it's a matter of it's for most of these guys, it's the money, right? So is he looking for a certain number? What does his development look like? Because it's, I don't think Morse is a guy that's going to be a quick mover in terms of a prep. It's going to take some years, but if he lands on a college campus for a couple of seasons, this is, you're talking about, mid-90s fastball, already has a little bit of feel for the spin, 6'8". That's just some large stuff coming at you. So that's one that I would first mention. Now, Tyler Putnam, Ty has been down at the Combine this week. There's been some good reviews with him. I'm wanting to say he popped a 97 with his fastball. He's 6'5", 200 pounds, a righty. I think he ends up going. I'm actually going to be moving him. I expect to move him up on our board, and he's already kind of at the beginning of that round 4 range. Outside of that, Cole Kenninger, I think there may be a decent chance there. Just for comparison, Cole's probably going to be in around that 100 range. We've got him just inside the 100 on our board. He's been a two-way guy in high school, but I think his path is hitting. He can play the left side of the dirt, whether it's short or third. Tremendous arm on the young fella, 6'3", 210 pounds. For reference, this is kind of the range where Nate Eisfelder was last year. So to give you kind of an idea of kind of what we're looking at, I mentioned I think it was 14 preps they signed out of the last draft cycle that they won on, so to speak. If you kind of want to measure that, Jack Dugan's going to be 50-50. Sean Sullivan, I lean more towards getting drafted, but he could be in the mix. But when you're looking at the very, very top end guys, Grenlinger, Condon's down at the Combine, by the way, and he popped, but he really did. I'm telling you, he could have not gone to the combine and probably still gotten drafted. Just phenomenal stuff with that guy. But I think when you can talk yourself into some things, Caden McCarthy's probably he's one of my favorites out of this class. The Vermont kid could be the third Vermont native ever drafted. He could potentially be the highest from that state ever drafted. We've got him at 78. It's 6 foot 185 from the right side. He's topped out at 97 reportedly this last baseball season. At the combine, he did really well, and the scouts wanted to see if he could hold mid-90s because there had been some question marks when scouts go to read him. Keep in mind he's in Vermont, a very unique place, and I don't know how much he was covered, but there was some discrepancies with some fastball velo, things like that. He's got a tremendous feel for a tumbling changeup. So interesting there. I think it's a match made in heaven if he gets together with Austin Knight here in Knoxville. But there's going to be some organizations after him. So he may be kind of in that 50-50 range, maybe even like 40% chance he lands at Tennessee.
Hey, I have one more question for you, Logan, and it's regarding just looking at the composition of how this roster's taking shape. And I'm thinking about we've had this conversation. We talked a little bit about it yesterday. We've talked a little bit about it today. I think there's just an expectation that, the calling card for this team offensively has been home runs and lots of them. And some of these guys we're bringing in, Duncan had 8 home runs last season. Wyatt Hanoyan had, I think, 6 or 7. Same for this Travis Bradley kid from Baylor. Point being, I was of the mind like, hey, if we just saw what we did with the College World Series, you saw Oklahoma hit a fair amount of home runs, but they also were very, very active, just getting guys on base and setting the table and all those things. I feel like having both is obviously not a problem. We want to win. And I don't think that this is a total shift of our identity, but I do think it could look a little bit different. But are you with me on that? You think I don't think that's a bad thing. We just saw how you can win College World Series titles a number of different ways. And just because these guys coming in have not hit a bunch of home runs does not make them any less effective.
Yeah, I heard you guys yesterday talking about this, and I totally agree. I agree with Russ when he said that we're not downshifting from that power component. And then I also agree with what you said. It's like, hey, you saw the path in Omaha in the postseason, the team that won it all and kind of how they were built. I'm not saying it was kind of they're doing this carbon copy approach, but it's Josh Elander's first offseason cycle when he's the CEO. And there were obviously some holes in the way that they were constructed. And I mentioned kind of being conservative with not really going after these top guys in the portal right at the beginning because you think they're white whales, because they're really not. Like, I mean, you could argue Bino Waters and Nate Savoy, they were probably in a tier of their own. Everybody else, it's kind of like pick your flavor, kind of like we'll talk about here in a minute with the crumble cookies. And I agree with you, Bob, like what Oklahoma did, man. They're kind of built to be that on-base machine, wreak some havoc on the base pass, play clean defense. That was the one good thing to take away from the 2026 season. The defense was improved. So if Elander can pick his spots with some of these on-base guys that have kind of the knack for good gloves and good fielding, and these up-the-middle guys, like I mentioned, potentially with Hanoyan and Ramirez playing up the middle. I mean, my goodness, man, just real excited to see what that defense can look like. And Oklahoma, I'll talk about them one more second. Like, they outskilled everybody that they came across. Don't get me wrong. I think they're, from an athletic standpoint, they're underappreciated. And I think people realize that, but Russ can tell you how I felt about them back in February and March. Like, that's why I circled that team. Some other guys that cover the sport, same thing, because it was going to be a scary thing if they were that pitching was able to hold like they showcased the first couple of weekends of SEC play. It was going to be scary. And now it didn't happen. It didn't hold. It fell apart. But Skip Johnson put that thing back together. But from a hitting standpoint, they were very, very skilled. And then they started hitting home runs. They stuck to their approach. The pitching, like I said, Skip, moved those pieces around, and they just ran with it. So I agree with both of you on that. I think it's not a downshift in the power component, but they're kind of refining what they want to look for guys like up the middle, but also at the plate, the approach. They want guys to get on base and create some havoc.
Logan, I am looking at crumblecookies.com, and, they always have a good lineup. They've had some better than others through the years. This might be the best, man. This is unbelievable. I don't even know where to start. There are so many good-looking cookies on the menu this week. What catches your fancy?
I got to go with the fried cookies and cream.
Yeah. What? Fried cookies and cream. Inject it into my veins.
Yeah, I need to look that up.
Yeah, and I'll like to mention that there's a lot of special features this week. You'll see if you download the Crumble app, go look at the menu. Some of these are this week only, but if you go and you see how delicious these cookies are, like this one we're looking at right here, you can drop a note and tell them how you feel about the flavors. You can vote on your favorite flavors. Look, this point last summer, we did not know what the heck Dubai chocolate was. And then they rolled it out kind of late summer into the fall, and it's featured almost every week. And this week, if I had one to pick, it's not going to be a cookie. Don't forget about the dessert cups. They've got Dubai chocolate strawberry cups. They have a gluten-friendly version of this as well. I'm going to go scoop me up one of those, probably a Whisk Me Away dirty soda to go with it. But I'm probably going to be going back for more. And when I do, it's going to be the fried cookies and cream cookie.
I'm looking at this funnel cake cookie.
Yeah.
Oh, stop, man.
They've got the summer flair going with the caramel apple and the cotton candy, strawberry lemonade. You mentioned the funnel cake cookie. I think they're going to stack some wins together because this next week, inching closer to 4th of July, it's going to be a bang next week. I can't wait to see what the 250 lineup is going to look like next week at Crumble. So be sure to go check it out.
He's just as passionate about the cookies as he is the baseball.
Why wouldn't he be?
Don't miss the cookies, Russ.
That's right.
Check them out. 3 area locations on Clinton Highway, Parkside Drive out here in Turkey Creek, and of course in beautiful Maryville. Tell them Fan Run Radio sent you. Logan Quinton, always appreciate the time, my man. Thanks for hopping on.
Thank you, guys. Enjoyed it.
Thank you, Logan.
LDQ Sports is his handle on X. You're going to want to listen to his podcasts, all the material he cranks out there. If you are a seam head, that's your guy. Logan Quinton, he is all into it right now with the baseball.
Felt like I learned a lot today from Logan on the pitching stuff, most notably.
Yeah, and it's, it's up in the air. These recruits that we're signing, these guys that we're getting out of the portal right now, this Duncan kid, the more I read up on him, I mean, it just sounds like he's up in the air. And like, how much money is he going to get offered in the draft? But it sounds like Elander's got him penciled in. Emphasize pencil because you can race it at center field next year. So hopefully we get him to campus. We got to take a quick time out. You're listening to The Drive on Fan Run Radio. Back to wrap up hour number 2 of the show right after this.
The Drive. Follow us on Twitter or X or whatever they're calling it these days at Fox Sports Knox, Fox Sports Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
Your smile says it all, so make sure it's saying the right thing. At Knoxville Smiles, we believe healthy teeth mean happy lives. Invisalign is a clear aligner orthodontic treatment that gradually straightens teeth without the use of traditional metal braces. And now, at Knoxville Smiles, we're offering Invisalign special pricing for new patients. Call for details at 865-539-1776 or just visit us at knoxvillesmiles.com. Don't wait another day to love your smile. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Is your yard starting to look more wild than welcoming? Yeah, don't let your landscape be that house on the block. At ECR Total Landscapes, we make sure your outdoor space is something you're proud of. From de-weeding flower beds to leaf blowing, trimming, mulching, and more, completely customizable to your property's specific needs. We'll handle it all. Why spend your weekends sweating it out in the yard when you can just sit back and enjoy it? That's the ECR difference. And right now, new customers can get 10% off your first month of our monthly maintenance package when you sign up for a full calendar year. That's right. Consistent, reliable service at a price that makes it easy to get started. No sweat, no hassle, just a better looking lawn week after week. Call ECR Total Landscapes today and mention promo code FANRUN to save 10% on your first month. Call 865-384-2012 or visit us online at ecrtotallandscapes.com.
We really need to get some branded stuff. Shirts, hats, promo items, something professional.
I mean, we could just find a website and order a bunch of it ourselves.
You could, but you're taking a big risk. You don't know the quality, the fit, the timeline. It's a roll of the dice.
Yeah, I guess, but isn't that how everyone does it now?
Not the ones who actually care about how their brand looks. Look, if we're putting our name on it, it needs to be done right. We need SM Athletics.
SM Athletics?
Yeah, they specialize in working with businesses like ours. Apparel, hats, promo gear, but real, customized stuff. They actually care if it turns out right.
Probably a lot better than getting stuck with 100 t-shirts with crooked logos.
Exactly. Plus, they'll walk you through everything. Sizing, colors, material, so it matches the image we're trying to build.
Makes sense. What's the name again?
SM Athletics. Trust me, if you want to look like a real company, not a flea market stand, this is the move. If you're serious about your brand, work with people who are serious about getting it right. SM Athletics.
Try that again. Let's get a call from
What's
DR
going on,
Ball.
guys?
Hey, DR, what's up?
I can't wait to see what Knucklehead we get next year. I mean, we had the princess that was promised, Deion Sanders' stepson, and now this guy's just don't want to play football. So who we going to get next year?
Who we going to get?
Screw us out of money. This is insane. It's always something with this program.
Well, I mean, at least Heupel is realizing, and he's not the only one. Look, we just follow Tennessee. We're myopic about it, but I'm sure there are coaches all over the country saying, wait a minute, we can't be spending the big bucks on guys that aren't going to play. And obviously, like Coleman and Carter, those are extenuating circumstances, but just in general, man, you can't be spending big bucks on guys that aren't going to play or going to stand on the sideline for a year or two. You can't do that, man. You've got to do what Elander and Barnes are doing. Go into the portal, get proven guys that you know can play and plug them in and make sure that the money you're spending it efficiently.
Well, and it doesn't sound like we lost a lot of money with this kid, but what upsets me is we could have gotten anybody else. A warm body is better than him not being there because we're kind of slim at that position.
Yeah, think of the money we left on the table, so to speak. Even though it's not going into his pocket, it's money that we could have used for another resource.
Yeah, it's just so frustrating. And it just, goes to the point. I'm just ready to fast forward football season. I want to go to the tailgates, and then I'm ready for basketball and baseball.
Did you happen to listen yesterday, DR, when we had Polinsky on?
That was what I was getting at. That was one of the best interviews. I've been listening to The Drive for 9 years. That's one of the best interviews I've heard. And I'm sure I heard it at the time, but 7 of our players were the leading scorers for their team last year?
Yeah. Yeah.
My pants were off when I heard that.
Well, and I mean, the other thing is, this is what my takeaway was yesterday. Every time we talk to him or I get a chance to talk to Barnes, I have total confidence in what they're doing. And part of it is because they're at least open. They can't talk about everything, but they at least are somewhat open to what they've got on their mind and what matters to them, because it resonates and you feel like it's not just your imagination. It's the same things you want to see happen with the team. Football, we just never know, man. That's the problem for me, is like, I'd just love to hear more from them.
Yeah, sell your product. I mean, Butch Jones gave him a lot of crap, and he was full of it, but at least he tried to sell the program. Heupel didn't even try. It's like him with shaving in the morning.
Easy now. It's not funny. Don't laugh at him.
I didn't.
No, it is
I didn't mention his weight. I just mentioned facial hair. Speaking of, Russ, did you get any mean texts from Barry last night celebrating?
I mean, he's been rubbing it in. Guy's a sore winner, DR.
I imagine so. What'd he do? Send pictures of turkey sandwiches?
I was just going to say,
gobbling at you?
He said, I can't wait to dig into a delicious turkey sandwich. That's what he sent to us.
Well, this is my question before I get off here. What is Bear more likely to locate turkey on, a map or a deli tray? And I'll hang up and listen.
Congrats, Bear, if you're out there listening. Big win for you boys last night. He had one of those Turkish hats that the Shriners wear. Is that called a fez?
It's a fez, yeah.
He had a fez on yesterday. It's like, dude, you look ridiculous.
Take it a step further. I could picture Bear with the fez on riding one of the mini bikes that the Shriners do at the parades.
Get on a pair of those boots like the Iron Sheik that curl up on the toes.
Yeah, swashbuckler.
Like, dude, we turn 250 next week. A little respect, please.
Walker, how's it feel back in the production booth without some of the wackadoo stuff going on?
This train runs real smoothly back here.
There you go.
The overall anxiety level is like down 500%.
Slightly.
Stay with us. Hour number 3 of The Drive coming up on Fan Run Radio.
The Drive.
Fan Run Radio, where Big Orange Country comes to talk sports. Start your morning off with your daily dose of talk sports with John Reed and Cody McClure from 8 to 11. Then it's Tony Basilio from 11 to 1. The Playbook with William Pattison from 1 to 3. And The Drive from 3 to 6. It's 10 hours of hard-hitting local sports radio every day, right here on the flagship station for Tennessee fans. This is Fan Run Radio, Knoxville.
It's official. It's summer. And how does East Tennessee do summer? With your Knoxville Smokies, of course. Only 5 homestands remaining. So if you haven't been to a game yet, what are you waiting for? Next week is a huge week with all-you-can-eat Wednesday, Knox Vegas Thirsty Thursday, Friday fireworks, and then Saturday, we're celebrating our country's 250th birthday. America's favorite pastime and fireworks. Is there a better way to celebrate? And come meet Bluey on Sunday. Don't miss the fun. Get your tickets now at smokiesbaseball.com.
Citizens National Bank.
Life is more fun with a Good Life account, offering extra benefits, including bank travel. Experience the trip of a lifetime to Ireland. Explore rolling green hills, historic castles, and charming villages across the Emerald Isle. Get in on the fun. Call 865-429-7935 today.
Citizens National Bank. Banking never felt so good.
Member FDIC.
Are you thinking of buying a home but don't know where to start? Well, call VFL Josh Travis, your local mortgage expert with Foundation Mortgage, based right here in Knoxville. Whether it's your first home or your forever home, he'll keep the process simple every step of the way. To get started, visit mortgagebrokerjosh.com or call 423-312-9777 today. Foundation Mortgage Company, LLC is an equal opportunity housing company. NMLS number 1387311.
Running a business, coaching a team, planning your next big event, you need more than just gear. You need SM Athletics and Logo Solutions. Custom uniforms, branded apparel, promotional products, done right, done fast, and built to show off your brand with pride. From local businesses to high schools to major universities, SM Athletics is trusted by winners. Get real service, get real quality, get noticed. SM Athletics and Logo Solutions, where your brand comes to life.
Visit smathletics.com and let's build something great together. Blackford Veterinary Surgery Referral specializes in surgeries not regularly performed by your pet's general veterinarian. They're currently accepting referrals from vets all across the country. With their newly renovated state-of-the-art surgery center and highly trained staff, clients can rely on professional and thorough care. If your vet says that your pet needs surgery or rehab, ask for a referral to Blackford Vet and let them get your best friend back on its feet. Located conveniently in West Knoxville. For more information, visit blackfordvetsurgery.com.
You're listening to FM 105.7 and AM 1340, WKGN Knoxville, and W289CU Knoxville, Fan Run Radio.
You served behind the desk.
You served in combat.
You did 4 years and got out.
You were drafted.
You gave 20 years.
You gave exactly what your country needed.
And so did you.
When you raised your hand and swore an oath to your country, when you put your name on a dotted line, you became part of only 1% of Americans who did the same. You are a veteran.
You are a veteran.
You are a veteran. Because no matter when, where, or how you served, you made a sacrifice for your country, and you deserve support.
If you're struggling with life after service, don't wait. Reach out.
Reach out to a loved one, to a fellow veteran, to VA.
Find resources at va.gov/reach.
Brought to you by the United States Department of Veterans Affairs and the Ad Council.
It's time for The Drive's Top 5 at 5.
Quitting time on your Friday, 5 o'clock here on Fan Run Radio. I'm Russell Smith. Thanks for tuning in to the program this afternoon, and congratulations, you have made it. The weekend has begun, and what a weekend it is. Baseball, the World Cup, getting ready for our country's 250th birthday. So many different things going on. Time to get caught up on the world of sports. Walker Smith, what you got?
At number 1, Chaz Coleman, the star of Tennessee football's transfer portal class, has been medically disqualified and is no longer a part of Josh Heupel's program. Coleman was 4 days late returning to Knoxville with the rest of his teammates to begin summer workouts. And when Coleman returned to town on May 29th, he met with some of the football program and did not end up rejoining Derek Owen's off-season program.
Wish him the best.
So long, Chaz. Hope it works out for you, buddy.
I hope it works out for us on the defensive front. That's what I'm hoping.
Hope it works out for Jordan Norman, for Christian Gass.
Yeah, I hope he's a stud. I hope we got a couple studs back there.
Wish we could go pick somebody up off the scrap heap, though. I mean, we're just going to
undrafted free agents out there.
Like, this is why Jim Knowles, why you hired him. Like, he's a cerebral guy, right? We're going to have to scheme around it because we don't have a freak on the roster that can just line up on the edge and go get the quarterback. We're going to have to play some bigger guys, some slower guys, and get creative with how we force pressure. You know, more Arian Carter, Jalen Perlotti blitzes from your linebackers, more defensive back blitzes.
We just have to remember, too, where that defensive unit ranked last year. It was not good, obviously.
Nowhere to go but up.
Yeah, if we can close that, cut that in half in terms of a ranking, we might have enough offense. If we can we got to get the quarterback figured out.
Got this guy, I thought that it was going to be a terror off the unblockable.
Yeah.
Knowles had that quote in spring ball saying he's got a, quote, invisibility cloak.
Oh.
Which is a great Harry Potter reference. You can't get your hands on him and all that stuff. I mean, it really had us hyped up for a potential game wrecker. And now to go from that to just hoping to get serviceable play out of that position is kind of sucks.
Yeah, and it also, reminds us that everything we heard when Jim Knowles took the job was that this could take more than a year for the system to fully get in. So if we are going to have to scheme defense and not just out-talent people, that might be a little harder year one. So we'll just have to see. At number 2, Josh Elander has landed 3 huge names in the transfer portal in the last 24 hours, getting commitments from Baylor shortstop Travis Sanders, Wright State outfielder Andrew Duncan, and Cal Baptist shortstop Chris Ramirez, who was the number 1 rated shortstop in the transfer portal.
Look at that 64 analytics on Twitter. college baseball statistics, rankings, and analysis. According to 64, Tennessee now has the number 1 portal class in the country.
Let's hope some of them stay from going to the MLB.
Yep. We've lost 20. This is according to their rankings. We've lost 20. We've gained 9, 6 of whom are top 250 players.
It's good.
So they like the guys we're bringing in.
It's good. All the guys we're bringing in look good.
Yeah. Now, again, you take these rankings with a grain of salt, just like we do in football now for different reasons. I mean, how many of those 6 top 250 portal prospects are actually going to make it to campus?
Exactly. That's a great point.
So I don't know, but Arkansas, Mississippi State are number 2 and 3 respectively. How many of their guys make it? How many of our guys make it? It's an art, not a science, but Josh Elander, at least on paper, is cobbling together a really good roster for next year.
At number 3, 2027 4-star safety Marcus Jones has committed to Tennessee. The Pennsylvania native is the number 197th overall player in the class, the number 17th safety, and the number 8 player in Pennsylvania, according to Rivals.
Trying to rack my brain and remember other players from Pennsylvania that we've had, and I'm coming up empty right now. I'm sure there have been some.
I'm sure the chat will provide us with some names.
Oh, by the way, that reminds me, I got to come back with more hyphenated names. We're getting.
Oh, we got more of them?
Yes.
All right, we'll definitely do that. I don't know. I mean, who knows? We need safeties. We always got on our old people for not recruiting safeties, and now we're bringing them in. So whether or not this guy's good or not, we might never know. But it's always good to see we're recruiting that area. At number 4, the United States men's national team coach Mauricio Pochettino and U.S. Soccer have had positive talks about a possible contract extension. Pochettino's contract with the U.S. runs through the end of this World Cup, and the former Tottenham, PSG, and Chelsea manager has yet to say what his future plans are.
Yeah, I saw that. It's interesting, right? Because he was talking with AC Milan.
Yeah. But they
right before the World
else.
Cup. They've hired somebody else.
Yeah, they hired Man United's old manager.
Well, I mean, it's a big commitment for him. That's a 4-year commitment you would be making. And I don't see him doing that. But
I think he wants to go coach club again.
Yeah,
that was always
so.
the plan.
But I just hope, and we could talk more about this with Panzika. He's going to stop by here in a few minutes. I hope we've learned the lesson. Let's not do buddy ball. We're going to hire the guy who's friends with the U.S. Soccer Federation head or whatever, some American from MLS. No offense. Let's go out and hire a mastermind, somebody who can build a culture, a tactician, an expectation of winning, all that stuff. And yeah, I mean, let's go get it here 4 years from now. So, I mean, Poch will be fine. If he wants to do it and he's going to commit, he's shown a lot. So I would be okay with that at this point.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, Mauricio Poch, for those that don't know, he's coached at some of the biggest clubs in the world. PSG is the biggest soccer team in France. Chelsea is one of the biggest soccer teams in England, along with Tottenham. And he had a lot of success and a lot of bad moments coaching for clubs. So depending on how the rest of this goes, after today, we don't have a next game guaranteed.
What do you think, Bob? Who do you want our next coach to be?
John Gruden.
Yeah, I love Tennessee. I got a lot of orange blood in my
He's available.
Yeah, I love Tennessee.
He's looking for a job.
Yeah, man. He's ready. Yeah. All you got to do is pick up the phone and call. Send him one of those big boxes with a bunch of red, white, and blue stuff in it.
Yeah,
hey man, American soccer. Eric Winalda. Remember him, man? Wow.
Got to
Look
make
at
him
this
say
eagle
no.
Hat.
Got to make him say no.
Spider white banana.
Spider 2 white banana. Oh, man.
I love Tennessee.
And at number 5, after nearly 2 weeks of being on the loose in the Texas Hill Country, Gracie the giraffe has been found. The giraffe escaped from the Cedar Hollow Ranch nearly 2 weeks ago after wandering into an area of the property where a man said none of the ranch's previous giraffes had ever gone. She came down a hillside on the wrong side of the gate and disappeared into the rugged terrain. A rancher spotted Gracie roughly 4 miles south from where she had escaped, and now they have the challenge of bringing her home.
Do you know what former U.S. president hails from the Texas Hill Country, Walker?
No.
Bob?
No.
I do not.
Lyndon Baines Johnson.
Really?
LBJ, yep. Grew up in
The original LBJ.
no electricity, out in the middle of nowhere, notoriously inhospitable terrain in the Texas Hill Country. It's down kind of near Austin, San Antonio.
The giraffe survived for
Down
2
there.
weeks out there. Kind of nuts.
That would be, I mean, you talk about all the animals to just like happen upon in the wilderness. A giraffe, I think that would freak me out.
That freaked me out. I'd be very confused.
Saw a harrowing video earlier today of a woman or a dude walking his dog in what appeared to be a grizzly bear, huge, big brown bear, like following them, and he's like trying to get big and scared away. Terrifying.
Can't.
Utterly terrifying. Would rather run into a giraffe.
Yeah, I'd rather run into
But
a
it would
giraffe
still be
than a
weird.
grizzly, for sure.
You ever seen a giraffe give birth?
No.
This is where we need bear.
I mean, it just falls down right out of the giraffe's hoo-ha. Just, falls down, splats, and then it gets right back up. It starts walking on its wobbly little giraffe legs.
Wow. Okay.
Oh, my God.
Fascinated by nature, man.
Yeah.
People can't walk. You come out and you need 2 or 3 years before you get up and you're able to ambulate.
Not a giraffe, apparently.
Just comes out ready to go. Got to, man. On long legs, too.
Yeah.
I think the mom would squat down and make it easier for the fall, but no. Probably a lot of giraffes walking around with CTE.
Yeah, maybe.
First thing that happens to you in life, about a 10-foot fall, right on the ground. Thump.
Well, that's how they fight, is they just throw their necks and heads at each other.
Was it the hangover
into
at
each
the
other.
giraffe in the truck and you go under the underpass?
I don't remember. It wasn't the first hangover. It might have been one of the other two. I don't remember that. But no, yeah, those things they'll just swing their heads around and fight each other.
I think being a giraffe would be a cool gig.
Yeah.
Out there on the Serengeti, walking around, just eating some eucalyptus, whatever they eat. It's that panda bear.
Can reach the top shelf.
Not panda bear. What do they got down there? Koalas.
Koalas.
They eat eucalyptus. I don't know what giraffes eat.
Pandas are misleading, right? They look so adorable, but they can.
No, you don't want to get in a cage with the panda.
No, they could mess you up.
That's why I was always in the news when I was growing up. They would always tell you the pandas aren't having sex; they're not doing it. They'd be in the zoo, and then some guy would be in there trying to facilitate panda sex. Which I think, as far as jobs go, when you find yourself in there in the panda enclosure, and I don't even know how that works.
You're a panda fluffer. I don't know.
Yeah.
This is taking an interesting turn.
That's one way of getting the pandas to get it on, I guess.
It's true.
Lend a helping hand. All right, Walker. Let's get back to the phones. Joshy Boy is next. What's up, Joshy Boy?
Hey, guys. How are you doing this Friday?
Just great. Spectacular.
What's not to like? Weekends here?
I'm doing all right, except for USA losing last night and the Braves completely melting down in division.
I mean, the Braves suck. U.S. lost to Turkey. Chaz Coleman's gone. We ain't got no rush end. Our pets' heads are falling off. Bob's talking about panda fluffing. I mean,
what are we
we're
doing?
in a tough spot right now, Joshy Boy.
Look, we have a pretty easy path
to
the round of 8. If we beat Bosnia, we would most likely play Ivory Coast or another team in the round of 16, right?
Yep. Don't sleep on the Ivory Coast. A very proud footballing nation, Joshy boy.
Yeah. Is Bear a fan of them as well?
Big Ivory Coast guy from way back in the day. He celebrates their entire soccer history.
He does.
I mean, if it's not U.S., he's in. That's really how he rolls.
Wouldn't be surprised if he's got an Ivory Coast flag in his room. Yeah. So, what are you guys thinking about the decision finally coming out this morning that Chaz Coleman is no longer with the team, or overdue?
Yeah, I mean, I think they're just dotting I's and crossing T's, making sure they were good from a liability standpoint, shall we say. And, I mean, it doesn't sound like it was much of a distraction at all lately for the coaches or the team or anything. I think it's just gives the fans a chance to have a little closure.
Yeah. Bob, did you get that video I sent you this morning? It was Chip Patterson from CBS Sports. He predicts the Vols will be a sleeper team in the SEC this year.
Yeah, I did see that. I talked a little bit about that when Ryan Sylvia was on, because he also talked about he's pretty bullish on Faison Brandon too.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm starting to believe if we pull an upset this year and take down Texas this year, the Vols could possibly be a 9-3 team. They just got to pull one or two upsets at home.
Joshy boy's believing. He's talking himself into it. Why not us? Why not now, Joshy boy? Let's go to the playoff. Let's go back with Faison Brandon at the helm. I feel you.
Yeah.
I smell what you're cooking, big boy.
So you're saying that's a trickle down if they can take care of business against Texas, then that's going to kind of turn
they
into
pull an
momentum.
upset against Texas at home.
I got you.
And don't pull a stinker on the road like at South Carolina or Arkansas.
Well, now that's never a guarantee with our team and our coach. That's been kind of a pattern, right?
God, man, I dread those games just as much as the big ones.
Yeah. That's always been the problem since Heupel's been here. He tends to at least drop one game he's not supposed to on the road every year, except for this past year.
The Heupel inexplicable road loss, by far the worst aspect of the Heupel era.
Yes.
2022 South Carolina, obviously, will stick on all our minds. 2024 Arkansas.
God.
Did we have one last year?
I don't know.
Nah, we didn't last year.
We had scares. I mean, it felt like we lost the Mississippi State game. We
True.
barely survived that game.
True.
Well, Arkansas, it was at home, but they ended up coming back and making it close at the end.
Arkansas made it a game against us.
Yeah, they did. Because if we most likely win that Arkansas game in 2024, we're most likely hosting SMU in the playoffs that year.
Certainly.
Yeah. All right, guys. Have a great weekend. See you.
Yeah. Thank you, Joshy boy. Appreciate it. You want some more hyphenated names from here are a couple blasts from the past. I can't believe nobody brought this one up. Dominic Wood Anderson.
Okay, that's a name I recognize.
Remember DWA?
I remember that.
Dropped that ball at Florida that year. JG hit him. We were backed up on the goal line, and Wood Anderson is just running unmolested down the sideline, just wide open. JG put it on him, dropped it. Would have been a touchdown. Somebody, you mentioned Jalen Reeves-Maben, Walker. Shout out there. Carlin Fields and me, Omar Norman Lott.
Yep.
Somebody wrote in Nigel Mitchell Thornton. And I had to go look that up to make sure they weren't just making up a name. But we did have a Nigel Mitchell Thornton playing linebacker in like the mid-2010s.
Did he play? I mean, that's the dark ages. So
I don't know. I have to go back and look. E.J. Abrams Ward.
Okay.
What?
I do remember that name. I want to say he was another Florida kid that never really made an impact.
Yeah.
And to add, he's got 2 initials for the first name, too.
Yeah, there's a lot going on there.
Name. I like it.
And then all he's missing is an apostrophe. Oh, you had some apostrophe. Wasn't Laneith Whitehead an apostrophe?
Yeah. I think you're right.
Who was the guy, one of the Hamburglers, the little dude, Newkeese? He had an apostrophe. I love an apostrophe in a name.
What was Newkeese's nickname?
Nuke, right?
No.
Wasn't?
Pete.
What?
Yes.
Pete?
Yeah.
No.
Look it up.
I never heard that. Why'd you be Newkeese? You name your kid Newkeese. Newkeese don't need a nickname, okay? Newkeese is just, you call him Newkeese, Keese, or Nuke.
Nuke is the winner.
And then this is an alert text from Ryan, and I don't know the answer to this. He says, can we count Jim Bob Cooter?
Oh.
I don't think there's a hyphen there.
Not a
It's
hyphen, but that's
3
just
names.
That's just
It's a hyphenated first name.
It's double name. At a certain point, it's not the last name. I'd count it.
What about,
Put it on the board.
I can't forget what, Josiah Jordan James.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, for going to basketball, yeah.
Brandon Huntley Hatfield.
Whatever happened to him?
Or as Phil referred to him, Brandon Hadley Batley. Stay with us. The drive continues. Coming up, we go out to the Mid-State. Our old pal, Lucas Piatzika, standing by. The U.S. men's national team couldn't get it across the finish line last night. Doesn't matter. What's next for the red, white, and blue? We'll talk to LP when we continue right here on Fan Run Radio.
The Drive. Can't get enough Fan Run Radio? Be sure to like and subscribe to our YouTube channel by searching for Fan Run Sports.
Fall fans, reimagine your home at Broadway Carpets and Flooring for any remodeling or building needs. With a variety of carpets, rugs, hardwood, vinyl, and stone, Broadway has all the flooring and installation options you're looking for, including pet-resistant products like Pet Perfect Carpet from Shaw Floors. Visit their showroom in downtown Knoxville or the location in West Knoxville located on Kingston Pike near Pellissippi Parkway today.
Are you thinking of buying a home but don't know where to start? Well, call VFL Josh Travis, your local mortgage expert with Foundation Mortgage, based right here in Knoxville. Whether it's your first home or your forever home, he'll keep the process simple every step of the way. To get started, visit mortgagebrokerjosh.com or call 423-312-9777 today. Foundation Mortgage Company, LLC is an equal opportunity housing company. NMLS number 1387311.
Are you ready for the start of a new season? Maybe looking for your team to go on a tournament run? Get game day ready with Crumble. Head on over to your nearest location and pick up 12 pre-selected cookies plus exclusive toppers. When you're looking for dessert options, there's no question about who you should call on. Our listeners already know. Last year, the Dubai chocolate was a home run, along with the brownie batter. Oreo crumb was another crowd favorite. What new flavor will set the standard this season? If you're in the Knoxville area, there are 3 locations ready to serve you: Clinton Highway, Parkside Drive, and Maryville. Download the Crumble app to build your best lineup and vote on the best combos. You can even put your bid in to request a new flavor. Order in the app and slide on over to your nearest location. Tell them Fan Run sent you, and as always, it's for the fans, by the fans. Don't miss the cookies.
Hey, Vols fans, Cody Brown here. I grew up right here in Tennessee and know what it means when someone says, I've got your back. That's why you can trust Farm Bureau Insurance of Tennessee. Whether it's your home, your vehicle, your family's future, or the business you built from the ground up, we will show up for all of your insurance needs. We are Tennesseans who understand what matters, which is doing right by you. Insurance is not all about just paperwork and policies, but it's about the people we insure every day. So if you want insurance that hits home, give me a call at 865-992-3871. Go Vols.
a lot of confidence if you're just carrying one name.
Yeah, well, maybe that's what we should do. I mean, this is what we're missing. Pulisico. Or you just start calling him Christian. No last name? I don't even know how that works, if they go last name or first name, but you know who does. Our next guess, Panzico. Lucas Panzica of 104.5 The Zone, Titans Radio in Nashville. Back again. 2 appearances in 24 hours. Oh, man, we have been blessed here on Fan Run Radio. LP, what's up?
What's up, guys? It's a new record and not a shred of American football talk. I'm sure the legions of audience in Knoxville are loving that.
Yeah, man, we're digging it. We're all over the place. A lot of baseball news. I guess the Tennessee baseball recruiting transfer portal thing, probably not a hot topic of conversation on the Zone this week.
Not quite. It's not really cracked the rotation. Man, I will say, this past baseball season, I mean, not even a shred of college baseball in our conversation, in our purview. And it's been a while since that's been the case, man. We were on this trajectory of Tennessee and Vanderbilt just ruling the sport side by side and obviously clashing every year. And it's kind of crazy how that just dissipated this year.
The power of Tony Vitello.
Yep.
He was able to break through. It'll come back. We're putting together a squad, Lucas. We'll update you at some other point. But how would you answer Kiffin's wrecked Lexus? Is that you're of Brazilian lineage? How does the one name thing happen? Because those dudes are born with a full name, right? And at some point, like Ronaldo just became Ronaldo, Ronaldinho. Those guys, my favorite was Hulk. Remember Hulk?
Oh, yeah. He's still playing, too. He's still playing in Brazil. I mean, he's got to be 37 now. But, yeah, it's kind of a mixture. For a lot of those guys, like Ronaldo, that's his first name. And a lot of these guys have longer names, and Pele is a nickname. So it's sort of a mixture of, sometimes it's a last name, sometimes it's a first name, like Ronaldo or Neymar. Ronaldinho just means little Ronaldo. His name is Ronaldo, and he came along as Ronaldo was at the top of the game on the planet, and so he was little Ronaldo. And they both are 2 of the most world-class players to ever play the game. Neymar, that's his first name, but for Kaká, Pelé, those are nicknames that kind of stick. And I don't know, it's kind of a cultural thing where you kind of sometimes will end up with one name, and it just sticks that way, and that's all you really need to be referred to as.
Bob, do you remember Kaká's work with Orlando SC back in the day?
Can't say that I do.
Missed that era?
Yes. Sorry.
Lucas, what should we feel about last night? The U.S. loses to Turkey. Pochettino, after the game, says, hey, no big deal. We won the group. Be happy.
So I think it's so interesting. I felt like last night's press conference post-game was such a worlds colliding moment where you've got American soccer media in that press room and media that a lot of them that have covered soccer for a long time, but still American soccer media that are asking questions with a negative connotation because you lost. And here it's about winning or losing. If you lose, it's a failure. If you win, it's success. Versus the world that Pochettino comes from, that, it is so much more about the big picture, right? In a sport where there are draws, where the champion is crowned by whoever is at the top of the table. And there are not playoffs when it's not a knockout cup competition. So it was such an interesting worlds colliding moment to see Pochettino so taken aback. Like, hold on, you guys, it's okay. And we won the group already. What happened here, yes, we would have rather won the game, but what happened here has absolutely no impact on what happens next. We're the winners of the group no matter what. We won the group. It was so funny how perplexed he was, but I genuinely think it was kind of this cultural crossover a little bit between American sports and soccer, where it is about the big picture. And we see it today with Norway, where they benched everybody. They could have won the group today had they beaten France, but they literally said, no, we're not going to beat France, and we know we're not going to beat France, so let's literally rest every starter, take our beating, and be happy to go into the knockout round.
Wow. Lucas Panzica with us here on loan from 104.5 The Zone and Titans Radio in Nashville. So another early goal for the United States. And, I talked about this with Walker after the game last night, LP. I don't think that people have made a big enough deal about the home field advantage that the U.S. has enjoyed. I thought Turkey looked shell-shocked after all the that those dudes are not playing in a stadium like SoFi, right? I mean, and the intensity, the atmosphere, I thought they looked like they were running in lead shoes for the first 10 minutes of that game and were able to score on a corner kick in the first minute or two of that thing. And I don't know if we can count on that going forward. The first, the early goal like that, at least this one was not an own goal, but still, it seems like the crowds have really been intimidating to the United States opponents. I wonder if that continues.
Yeah, I have loved the vibes we've seen so far. And so they've played 3 games, right? 2 of them in LA, 1 in Seattle. And the environments have looked incredible. And I know a couple people that have gone as fans and that have covered them as media, and they have just come away blown away at the atmospheres. And it helps when you grab an early goal and the energy boost that provides. And the U.S. has been able to do that in each of the first 3 games, like within the first 10 minutes. But I also love what we're seeing from the celebration with these guys, man, like on the field. This team, like, it's super cliche and probably cheesy, but I do feel like this is a team that is super together right now, because you see those early goals happen, or you see a player like Gio Reyna that's obviously been through his ups and downs as a USA player, and the celebration, you've got the entire team streaming off the bench, running onto the field, Mauricio Pochettino sprinting down the sideline to celebrate when Alex Freeman scored that goal against Australia, Christian Pulisic when Gio Reyna scored that goal against Paraguay. I'm loving the celebration we're seeing in the stands and on the field. The vibes have been awesome. It was a gut punch to concede that goal right at the final second, because even a draw, you would have said, okay, that's fine. Turkey, give them credit. They looked like the team that they were supposed to be in this tournament, and I'm sure their fans are very frustrated back home, wondering where this was the first 2 games.
Talking about Pochettino, news came out this afternoon and it sounds like this is a little bit older news, but it came out this afternoon that he's been offered an extension for a second World Cup cycle. You guys, I'll point that question to both you, Lucas, and to you, Russell, as more fervent soccer fans than maybe myself, and certainly not Bear, who wasn't even sure there was a World Cup. That seems like this guy seems like he's very comfortable in his own skin with what he's doing with this program. Feels like there's a lot of work left to do, right? He said what he inherited. He was a little stunned when he first came in there, but you guys feel that's the right path forward?
I always operated under the premise that Potts was gone after this World Cup. Like, I think I've used the word mercenary with you guys. That's kind of, I don't know if you agree, Russ, but that's the vibe that I had about this thing from the jump. And I was good with it. Like, that's fine. Go get a high-level tactician that's done it, has managed some of the biggest clubs and biggest players on the planet to come in and help us maximize this moment. But I would welcome, we'll see what happens over the next couple of weeks. I would welcome a long-term situation with Pochettino. I would still be pretty surprised. Like, the news is that the offer's on the table, not that Pochettino is leaning one way or the other.
Right.
I still would be surprised if he doesn't head back to Europe and the U.S. looks for a more long-term option. But this can all be determined, too, with where this goes in the next couple of weeks. If the U.S., despite the great start, crashes out, suddenly, you're not so keen on keeping Pochettino around, as good as this team has looked in the first few games. If they make this incredible run to a semifinal or something, then, yeah, you do everything in your power to lock him in. But I maintain I'll be surprised if Mauricio Pochettino remains the coach of this team after the World Cup.
Yeah, I feel the same way, LP. I thought it's one and done. Probably still think it's one and done. If he wanted to stick around and he was seriously going to commit, because I would hate for him to take it and then 2 years from now it's like, oh, I get a big job in the Premier League or the Spanish league and I can't say no. Mm-hmm. So whoever it is, that's the still kind of irks me about this cycle is, man, we wasted basically 2 years with Berhalter after the last World Cup when It was a train wreck. We should have just cut ties immediately, gotten our new guy in there, and spent the last 4 years building up. Seems to be going well. But my big takeaway, Lucas, is if Potch, as you and I both expect, leaves, goes back to club soccer here in the next year or so, learn the lesson, man. Don't just go back to the good old boy network of U.S. soccer and hire another American coach. Like you can hire an American coach. I'm not against it out of hand, but go find the best guy you can and get out of the way. Let the guy work. Turn it over to him and let him do his thing for the next 4 years. And you probably have to do it again because it is a 4-year cycle, generally speaking. So that's my only thing, Lucas. I just hope that we learn a valuable lesson after the last, not just 5+ years.
Well, even with that, I think the phrase Lucas said of maximize the moment is exactly what you want to do. Even if he is a mercenary, he doesn't move on. One of the biggest things that could come out of this World Cup is Pochettino shows that this is one of the destination national team jobs that guys might want. If a guy like Mauricio Pochettino wants to be here and he comes here for a year, sees the World Cup, and we do well in it, that is going to raise the profile of European coaches that the U.S. men's national team could attract if and when he probably leaves.
Yeah, that's a good way to put it. And ultimately, you want somebody that will want to be here, right? That wants to be here long term and wants to continue the momentum, whatever momentum is created, because we still don't have the final verdict on what this U.S. team is going to do in this World Cup. I'm so genuinely fascinated to see how it plays out because you can go down that path to find another Pochettino, another big name manager. You could potentially try to walk this line of finding a manager with American ties that has done it in Europe. There's a manager that just won the domestic cup in Spain by the name of Pellegrino Matarazzo that's from New York that is one of the rising, I say young, he's not necessarily on the younger side, but kind of a burgeoning name in Europe right now that is an American citizen. So I am so curious to see what direction they go. I doubt it's Pochettino after this, but there is sort of a crop of American coaches that I think can be on that short list. My worry between, me and you guys and the audience over there in Knoxville is that BJ Callahan is a name on that short list of somebody that, is tied with Nashville SC and doing these games and has greatly enjoyed this incredible run that BJ has created here. When you talk about domestic coaches, BJ would be right at the top of that list. He has USA experience. He was the interim coach in between when Greg Berhalter's contract ended and they brought him back. And honestly, they played more attractive soccer under BJ than they did really at any point under Greg Berhalter during that summer in 2023. There will be a lot of different ways they can go, but yeah, doubt it'll be Pochettino. Maybe we'll be pleasantly surprised. If it is Pochettino, that means the U.S. probably did something pretty special in this World Cup.
All right, Lucas, what to watch for this weekend on the way out the door? Great opportunity for fans who are getting excited about this to watch the final group stages games. And then I believe we start knockout stages on Sunday.
Knockout stage on Sunday, yeah. So we just watched France look like the favorites that they are. Unbelievable, man. They're just unstoppable. I'm having a hard time seeing any team raise to their level in terms of depth, what they just did against Norway's B team, granted. But, if England can finish strong, obviously they'll be heavily favored against Panama, and that would place England in a bracket where they could see Brazil. That's a real possibility, where they could see Brazil. I believe it would be in the round of 16, which would obviously be a titanic matchup. And then how Group K finishes up on Saturday. Colombia takes on Portugal to decide the winner of that group. I'm headed down to Atlanta tomorrow to go to the Congo-Uzbekistan games. So very excited to see if one of those two teams can scrap out a victory and maybe eke in as one of those 8 third-place teams. And, of course, Lionel Messi in action at 10 p.m. Eastern time in Dallas against Jordan. Argentina has that group wrapped up. We'll see if we really even see Messi, but that's obviously must-see television anytime he steps on the field.
Bob, I've always said when the Congo and Uzbekistan hook up, you throw the records out the window. Doesn't mean anything.
They call it the game.
Noted. LP, thanks a lot, man. We'll talk again next week. Have a great weekend.
All right, boys. Talk to y'all soon.
Thanks, sir. Lucas Padzika from the Zone in Nashville. Check it in here and talking a little soccer as the Americans will play again Wednesday night against Bosnia and Herzegovina, 8 p.m. kickoff out in San Francisco in a game that will probably set record TV ratings, and people are going to be all kinds of fired up about that next week. Stay with us. The shocking conclusion of the drive coming up. Speak now, forever hold your peace. 865-966-3435 is your number to get on the show. 966-3435. Back to wrap things up right after this.
The Drive. East Tennessee Sports Authority. This is Fan Run Radio. Knoxville.
What kind of day is it? It's a White Claw day. Grab a pack, grab your friends. Everything else in life can wait. Your friends shouldn't. Let's go. White Claw. Grab life by the claw. Please drink responsibly. Hard seltzer with flavors. White Claw Seltzer Works, Chicago, Illinois.
Citizens National Bank.
Life is more fun with a Good Life account, offering extra benefits, including bank travel. Experience the trip of a lifetime to Ireland. Explore rolling green hills, historic castles, and charming villages across the Emerald Isle. Get in on the fun. Call 865-429-7935 today.
Citizens National Bank. Banking never felt so good.
Member FDIC.
Hi, I'm Jessica Lodgen, one of the hygienists here at Knoxville Smiles. If your children are having sleep or behavioral issues, we have things we can do in modern dentistry that can help not just with their dental health, but also their overall health. Early intervention is the key for younger patients and can avoid costly procedures later in life. If you'd like to learn more, give us a call here at the office and schedule an appointment. 865-539-1776. Or just book online at knoxvillesmiles.com. Smile brighter with Knoxville Smiles.
Is your yard starting to look more wild than welcoming? Yeah, don't let your landscape be that house on the block. At ECR Total Landscapes, we make sure your outdoor space is something you're proud of. From de-weeding flower beds to leaf blowing, trimming, mulching, and more, completely customizable to your property's specific needs. We'll handle it all. Why spend your weekends sweating it out in the yard when you can just sit back and enjoy it? That's the ECR difference. And right now, new customers can get 10% off your first month of our monthly maintenance package when you sign up for a full calendar year. That's right. Consistent, reliable service at a price that makes it easy to get started. No sweat, no hassle, just a better looking lawn week after week. Call ECR Total Landscapes today and mention promo code FANRUN to save 10% on your first month. Call 865-384-2012 or visit us online at ecrtotallandscapes.com.
Welcome to Axle Logistics, where excellence isn't just a goal, it's an energy. As a leading third-party logistics company, Axle is powered by an award-winning culture built on a work hard, play hard mentality. Here, the drive for success is contagious and hard work never goes unnoticed. Whether you're just starting out or looking to level up, Axle Logistics is the place to launch your career. Join us and take your ambition to the stars. To learn more, visit axlelogistics.com.
Yeah. New article today at scratch.com. This is written by Alan Shipnuck, who wrote the book about Phil a couple of years ago. That was an unauthorized biography, talked a lot about his gambling and stuff like that. But there was a story a month or so ago of Phil being asked to leave a golf club that he's a member at for sexually harassing one of the young ladies who worked there. Now we've got an expose written that includes 2 new incidents of lewd behavior and unwanted advances that is really going to drag Phil's name through the mud. And this story is absolutely unbelievable. So Mickelson has known this guy, Pat Perez, since they were both kids in San Diego growing up. And Perez is a golfer too. And so Phil invites this guy, Pat Perez, and his wife, Ashley, to this place he's got in New York near Plainview country club in New Jersey, and guy brings his wife out there, and they go out to eat sushi restaurant, come back and start lounging around at his place, and they're having some red wine on the patio of his villa. They can see the Statue of Liberty, the lights of Manhattan, and they're hanging out. Just Phil, his buddy, and his wife.
All right.
When the other guy, Pat Perez, gets up and goes to use the restroom, his wife claims that Mickelson takes out his cell phone and shows her a picture of his full body naked with an erection.
Oh, my God. That's awful.
And then claims the wife, Ashley Perez, quote, Phil says to me, I'm going to leave my bedroom door open tonight. When Pat falls asleep, I want you to come see me.
Good God.
He's talking to his friend's wife.
It's a bad guy right here.
Yeah.
It's not a good dude right here.
She says that she didn't tell her husband because he was playing in the tournament and didn't want it to get messy and blow up into a whole thing. But apparently she told him afterwards, and he had a big blow up with Phil. And this dude told all his friends on the tour. So this became like a big gossip thing on the PGA Tour, Phil's junk. And they said it became kind of like an urban legend. Then Phil calls to make an apology. 26-minute phone call that these people recorded. So these people are not angels either, right? I mean, we won't take it for verbatim. This is a bunch of gossip. I probably tend to believe it. But the writer, Shipnuck, listened to the phone call. This lady, Ashley, they're divorced now. So this just keeps getting better, right? And they let him listen to the phone call. Shipnuck writes, Mickelson alternated between contrition and saying he didn't remember the details of the night. When Pat laid out the story that Mickelson had shown a naked photo of himself to Ashley, Phil responded, quote, you mean topless? Pat became increasingly irritated on the call at Mickelson's obfuscation, saying, quote, that's the real problem. If you don't remember these things, that's a bleeping problem. That means you've got a lot of bleep going on.
Oh, my God.
Without admitting what he had done, Mickelson apologized directly to both Pat and Ashley and said, I can't tell you how disgusted and embarrassed I am in myself. Approached for comment this week, Pat Perez said, quote, I'm not talking about Phil. I don't care if he did or didn't do something. It's none of my concern. Thank you.
Jeez.
And then they go on and talk about the other incident at the club in San Diego and everything. So Phil Mickelson has a lot more in common with Tiger Woods than we thought.
Frankly, sounds slimier.
Jeez.
Those golfers, man, it was pretty well chronicled about Dustin Johnson before he got married to Paulina Gretzky.
Mm-hmm.
The word was he was always kind of
chasing
all the other wives and girlfriends of the tour members. So,
and you think the wags are off limits, right?
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
Successful athletes chasing women, no new story. But yeah, I mean, if you're your buddy's wife, that's kind of a sleazeball move.
Sure is.
Not even kind of. It's just a sleaze. It's like the ultimate sleazeball move.
Good God. Wow.
Yeah.
This guy just gets worse and worse for Phil.
No, Phil's married, but like, you're really hurting for dates. You're Phil Mickelson. Like, if you want to find an attractive young woman to go out with and step out on your wife with, and I'm sure he's got options out there.
Yeah. But man, I mean, the fall from grace he's had just since Live.
Yeah.
Even then, everyone already kind of knew about the gambling stuff before Live, and people had started to kind of, push back on that. And then he becomes a traitor to American golf, basically, and people sour on him with that. And then in the midst of that, he wins the PGA. He wins the PGA Championship as the oldest guy to ever win a major, in like the peak of that.
But I feel like after that major that he won, that PGA at Kiowa a couple of years ago when he was 50.
Yep.
I feel like at that point, his image he was kind of one of the grand old men of golf. And yeah, he's got gambling issues, but he's hardly the only rich guy to have gambling issues. It almost humanized him a little bit.
Wasn't that post-live starting the Kiowa championship?
I don't think so.
It might have been the last one before it started.
Where's the Sheik when you need him?
Truly.
But I feel like at that point, he was riding high. Everybody was a Phil fan.
Yeah. I mean, it felt like everyone, like, you know, when they were at the peak of their powers, there was always the Tiger versus Phil crowd. But it felt like everyone kind of deep down, like, they liked Phil as a character. But now it's just gotten dark, and it's bad. It's bad.
Phil Mickelson. We thought we knew you. Let's get a phone call from Roberto. Good afternoon, Roberto. You're on the drive. It's Fan Run Radio.
Hey, guys. Yeah. Wow, that Phil Mickelson thing, I didn't know about that until you were talking. I had just called in. You know, I had a friend who played on tour for a long time, and he said, if you ever have a chance to hang out with Phil Mickelson or Tiger Woods and play around in golf, and it wasn't about the golf, it was about the man, like the person, he always said, you've got to go with Tiger Woods. Like, basically, Phil Mickelson is a complete creep and a total idiot.
Well, everything I've heard with Tiger is that, like, he's outside of, you know, the driving stuff, which is awful. Like, all the people on tour like him. Like, other than guys like Patrick Reed, like, everyone loves Tiger, playing golf with Tiger, look up to Tiger, all that stuff. And Phil was really never like that.
No, like, Tiger's good to the guys on tour, even that don't have a name. You know what I mean? And Phil is a jerk to everybody, apparently, which sucks. But
don't get to know your heroes.
Oh, yeah.
You'll only be
that's
disappointed.
The worst thing, right? But honestly, now that you say that, who's had a more precipitous fall from grace, Phil or Tiger? It's got to be Tiger, really, right?
I don't know. It's Tiger's. He's had like 3 falls and 2 rises at this
he
point.
He keeps coming back, yeah.
Let's say the guy got like everything that happened in 2014 where everyone initially caught him cheating, then he gets hurt. Everyone thinks he's done. Then he wins the Masters, and people think it's the second era. And then
Well, when you're talking about sexual assault allegations or
good point.
Harassment, like that's a different level of. I mean, that's a crime.
Yeah,
and some
beyond adultery.
Yeah.
Well, what about? Well, then again, I mean, the rumors. It's got to be the great ones, right? I mean, at this point, like, thank God for Jack Nicklaus, right? Him and Gary Player are the only 2 that have never had anything levied against them, right? Like that, right? And Arnie even. I don't know if Arnie did or not. Jackie Onassis or something saying something to Arnie. I don't know. It's just really sad because I really enjoy golf. But, like, Rory, I mean, the allegations are very much out there about him and the improprieties he had with the Golf Channel anchor. I can't remember her name now.
There was that.
No, it was Amanda Balionis with CBS Sports.
Yep.
CBS. Okay.
Yeah.
Bob knows his ladies sports and sideline reporter anchor people.
Definitely.
I don't.
Definitely.
How about guys? Did you catch any of the soccer this afternoon? I know you guys were working for a living, but
I was following.
Did you see what Senegal did to poor Iraq today?
Oh, I mean, they
barrel job, Russell. Barreled.
Iraq got a red card in the first 15 to 20 minutes, and Senegal was already up a goal, and it was wraps from there.
Worst thing to happen to Iraq since
first Persian Gulf, probably, since they messed with Kuwait and pissed us off.
I was going to say Fallujah, but that'll work too.
That's pretty bad.
Please do.
I don't know, but Russ, I had a question. This is a serious question. Because you were talking about Pochettino a minute ago, which, as a Spurs fan, and now what he's doing at the U.S., I think our best play is to make sure that he has a lifetime supply of Chick-fil-A based on the article I read the other day.
Love Chick-fil-A.
That's the best play.
He loves Chick-fil-A and he loves Miracle. Loves Miracle.
Yeah. And the other thing, God, just don't go hire Greg Berhalter again for the 6th time. Speaking of sexual improprieties and allegations. My question about that is, Russ, is Greg Berhalter the best thing he's ever done for USMNT is produce the seed for Sebastian? That was my question to you.
I mean, yeah, I like Seabass. It's a hell of a strike.
He's a nice player.
Yes,
he's going to end up in Europe, isn't he?
Hope
Somebody's going to come pick him up after last night.
Let's say this could be. We asked Lucas before the tournament, who's the guy that no one's really going to think about. It's going to come out of nowhere. We thought it was going to be Chris Richards, guy starting. Could be Sebastian Berhalter, son of the ex-coach, playing in the MLS. He could have a moment.
If Potch likes a kid, and apparently he really likes that kid, he's brought him in every game and started him last night. If Potch likes a kid, he's going to get a crack in Europe. He will, because people respect what Potch has to say about that. So, and I like him. He seems likable. His dad, not likable. Him, very likable. So last night might have been an aberration. Also, not the guy who scored the goal, but the guy who created the first shot to get the goal scorer open. He was offside. So that should have been a tie game and whatever. It doesn't matter. But, and lastly, guys, I'm really loving the approach here by the baseball team with the portal. They're going for guys with extremely high OPS and guys who can get on base so that their big boppers can come in and pound it. And I think they've done a really good job. And getting 2 shortstops in the last 24 hours has eased my mind. Take care, guys.
Thank you, Roberto. He likes Miracle, the movie?
Loves it.
Really?
Like every single pregame that you watch about Potch, like there's always a segment about like, oh, he got this message from Miracle. Oh, he watched Miracle.
He's doing a little Herb Brooks.
Watched Miracle a few days before the World Cup started and it inspired him. And like it is. Like he takes a lot of messages from it.
It's smart. I saw where he likes country music. He likes Ella Langley.
Who doesn't love Ella Langley?
He said that
he's a fella.
He said the coaching staff usually takes a break in the morning session to listen to some country music.
Good for them. I love it. I mean, he's Russell. He's just becoming Americanized. It's great.
I love it. All right. Thank you, Walker. Excellent work by you this week. Thank you, Bob. Everybody have a wonderful weekend. Big week next week. Celebrating 250 years of the United States of America. And they said it wouldn't last.